He comes in with a .302 batting average, and he takes that one a little bit downstairs. The wind is blowing out today, and it's going to help, especially left-handed batters who can pull the ball, blowing out toward right center field. That's a strike, and it levels the count.
And there's the good cutter, Lynn, 87. So when you're talking about a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and then a cut fastball, 87, difficult, especially for right-handed hitters to deal with. He will throw an overhand curveball. He will mix a changeup.
That's a strike on the outer part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You mentioned that cutter. And, Mark, when he gets that thing dancing like a shad in shallow water, there's going to be a lot of strikeouts.
It's a now you see it, Lynn, now you don't kind of pitch. It looks like a fastball coming at you with late action.
A cold third strike leaves Davis Diaz at the plate.
So what you're going to see here is 95. You're going to see cheddar cheese. We called it macheta back in minor league baseball. This is 95 on the black. LaRue does not move. Fastball, cutter, fastball. If you're a right-handed hitter, Lynn, and you're sitting on 95, you get 87, or looking for the cutter, and it's just tough to adjust and hit.
Spencer Jones steps in.
I saw Spencer Jones 3 years ago. He played summer ball with my older son in California. He was just graduated, so not even a college guy yet, playing in a college league. Hit about 320 from California, played out there in Santa Barbara. Good-looking player and a big, strong kid.
Jones had one of the 2 hits yesterday for Vanderbilt. He was 1 for 3. The only other hit in the game for the Commodores came from Rob Gordon. He was 1 for 4 and scored the only run for Vanderbilt. 2 outs, nobody on base. And a breaking pitch slides in for a strike.
Lynn, it's just the consistency of this cut fastball. Right now the range is 84 to 87, but total command of it. And he's done that. And this thing is probably 4 months old. They just developed it. He's fallen in love with it, taken to it, and is using it really well.
The outfield is deep and straight away. 2 outs in the top of the first. And that breaking pitch started outside and stayed there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vanderbilt batting in the top of the first inning, middle game of this 3-game series. Jones nubs that one off the end of the bat. He's a big target.
6'7", 220. Yeah, he was a kid that was a pretty good pitcher out of high school. Had some elbow issues. I think, I looked on the stats, there's not a lot of pitching stats for him, maybe 1 or 2 innings, but he's become a guy that swings the bat for him. Great numbers coming in and hitting third. You hit third for Vanderbilt, you're a pretty good hitter.
The 2-2 pitch is high and away.
And that's the attempt at the curveball there, and that's 2 of them back-to-back. He kind of missed arm side. I kind of look here on a 3-2 count. You just can't count on anything from Trace Bright because the cutter's so good. If you're a hitter, you got to look fastball, let it get deep, just try to battle.
Jones is batting .351. That's the second highest on this Vanderbilt team, and he earns a walk. Sometimes you're given a walk, sometimes you earn it, and the latter was the case there.
Yeah, fouled a couple off it. And, Lynn, that's been the one thing with Trace Bright. He was in command last week in Baton Rouge through 4 1/3, and before you know it, he was out of the game. The bullpen was in. He can get going. It's just been the command here and there for him that's got to get better.
So a 2-out walk brings Keegan to the plate, and you certainly don't want to extend the inning and get this guy at the plate with a runner on base, but that's exactly what Vanderbilt has accomplished here.
Yeah, this guy's the real deal. A senior, guy's been around, seen it all, been to Omaha.
42 base hits on the year in 29 games for Keegan. 5 home runs, 28 driven in. The latter number leads the Commodores.
Vanderbilt and Auburn, Lynn, back-to-back in the conference and hitting. Tennessee just running with it. A .325 batting average is Tennessee, but then you got LSU, then Auburn and Vanderbilt back-to-back. So both offenses have been very solid. And this Vanderbilt team has been a little bit cold, but what Trace Bright doesn't want to do is give them too many fastball counts. Too good of hitters for that.
Here's the 1-1 pitch with a runner at first, and that finds the zone.
So a fastball count, if you're watching, what is that? It's going to be a 1-0 count, 2-0 count. Any count where it looks like the pitcher's pretty much got to come in there with a fastball because the command of the other two pitches hasn't allowed him to get ahead.
Jack Volger is on deck. The 1-2 pitch. Low and inside. Jones down at first. He drew a 2-out walk. He's had some success on the base paths this year. He's 6 for 6. So far, he has shown no inclination of moving along. This might be the pitch, though. The 2-2, and he's leaning. Not going anywhere. Swing and a foul ball out of play off to the right side and behind the stadium.
Auburn pitchers do a pretty good job, Lynn, of holding runners. I've got my stopwatch, and I'm watching Trace Bright. He's a big guy, 6'4", but you want to be about a 1.4 to the plate or better. What does that mean? When the foot comes off the ground for the pitcher, the clock starts, hits the mitt, you stop it. 1.4 seconds is a really good time to hold runners.
Jones not going this time either, and a call third.
You better get it and throw it. Defensive coaches, Lynn, will hold up a 1, 2, or a 3 to let their infielders know 1 runner can go get it. 2 runner, okay. 3 runner slow. He gets a 1 every time. And the walks has been an issue. You already talked about that here with Holton. The walks have been an issue. 16 walks. Even though the batting average is low, he still gives up base runners with walks. That's one thing that Carter Holton's going to have to stay away from as he tries to even this series up.
Rambush lifts one into foul ground on the right side, and that is caught next to the wall. Excellent job by the right fielder, Spencer Jones.
There's about 7 Vanderbilt fans down there. They were the only ones cheering. He caught it kind of nonchalant, wrapped around behind his back, and just flipped it back in.
Spencer Jones in the shadows makes the catch. Where the foul ground is very narrow. Watch him drift, lean, and makes that sweeping catch for out number 1.
Well, and what they teach the outfielders, if you're the home team here at Auburn, you're taught to slide under. When you feel the warning track, you slide. He hasn't been here that much and did not slide.
Here's Howell, who had a base hit yesterday. Auburn with 7 base hits. And the first 7 in the order last night collected 1 hit apiece.
With a couple of big ones right there with Foster and Brooks Carlson. One thing you always know about Vanderbilt pitching, boy, they work quick.
Very quick.
I tell pitchers, I work with a lot of young pitchers, and I tell them I want the hitter to feel like you're breathing down his neck, and that's something that Tim Corbin, his pitching coaches, have always, for 20 years, they are ready to go quickly.
That's some pretty good heat there.
Arm side life, got a little sink, 2-seam fastball, 92. Kason Howell, an experienced guy. See if he goes with a big breaking ball here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We are scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. Howell stays alive as he flicks that one foul. That wind has shifted a little bit. It's now blowing from right to left. Earlier it was blowing from left to right. And it's pretty gusty. A very nice crowd on hand following the annual conclusion of spring football with the Auburn Tigers getting it done on the football field in preparation for next season. And a breaking pitch. Fools Howell. He was unable to come up with it.
Yeah, he left that one up. And Kason's really good about staying with balls. Watch this now. This was a little bit more of a mistake. This one kind of hung. Kason Howell had a chance, but enough late break, he was able to get under and get the strikeout.
This brings on Sonny DeShera. What a story he has been for the Auburn Tigers. You are looking at one of the best hitters in America. And he is the best in the SEC. 1 for 3 yesterday. He swings. He drives it high. He drives it deep. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Sonny DeShera homers to the deepest part of the ballpark, and that was no doubt. Look at that War Eagle fly.
Lynn, it's unbelievable. He's hitting 420. This is not video game. It's not wiffle ball. This is SEC baseball. He gets 92. It was up, but still 90. Watch this now. This is 92 up a little bit, and bam. And it's not even close. The strength, the ability to do what he does is amazing. And, boy, he's doing – and not just a power guy. He can really hit. You see Bradfield, I don't know what he was doing, but trying to get something there, I guess.
Home run number 9, RBI number 27, and the Auburn Tigers take a 1-0 lead on a titanic home run over the center field wall by Sonny DeShera.
Lynn, I played here a long time ago with a guy named Frank Thomas. It's very similar. It's kind of scary like Frank Thomas. He's not the long-term prospect, I don't think, but he's proven to any scout sitting here today that he can play professional baseball with what he does with a bat in his hand.
Here's Brooks Carlson. And we've heard Butch Thompson talk about how important Brooks Carlson is to this lineup to bat behind DeShera and make sure that people don't pitch around him on a consistent basis.
And he was hurt for the first month. He was out in January, missed the first month, had a rough start trying to get going. But, man, as he gotten going now, and you're right, filling a huge role to protecting the backside of Sonny DeShera.
Carlson hitting .293. He's an aggressive swinger up there, too. He doesn't go up in any way hesitant.
Well, and these two guys, DeShera and Carlson, when Auburn had to go up and play Samford on midweek games the last couple of years, Lynn, they wrecked Auburn. So Coach Thompson did the right thing. If you can't beat them, go get them.
That's lined with some gusto into foul ground. Let's look at the numbers on DeShera's home run. He just smoked that one over the center field wall.
I'm going to say 435.
99 exit velocity, 409 feet over the center field wall.
Wrong again.
This is a nubber acting like a gyroscope on its way to second base. And it is plucked there by Vastine for the out as he gets it over to Parker Nolan. But Sonny DeShera with 2 outs and nobody on base launches a titanic home run. After 1, Auburn leads 1-0. That the A-Day spring football game was held, and there was football weather today. It's a bit airish right now at Plainsman's Park. 59 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 12 miles an hour, and the sky is the color of a robin's egg this afternoon. It's just that it's a bit nippy. The annual pre-Easter cold spell, it seems.
If you had on pads and helmet, it's a pretty good day. If you're out here in baseball field, it's cold. But first pitch cutter, 4 strike there by Trace Bright. Good inning, good start for him.
Jack Bulger at the plate for the Commodores.
And Lynn, it is so big. I mean, so big for a starting pitcher when your team gives you a lead or scores some runs to come right out. Not only pop strike 1, but have about a 9-pitch inning. It's tremendous, and it shows a lot of leadership if a pitcher can do it. So Trace Bright has a chance here after the home run by DeShera.
Bulger hitting .228. He's only homered once. He's driven in 8. This is his 26th start.
Tell you the thing I love about Vanderbilt, the offense so far, maybe the word funk might be something Coach Corbin might use, but they're swinging. They are aggressive. And if you stay aggressive as an offense, you'll climb out of it. They're too good hitters to stay down long. Very aggressive so far against Trace Bright.
Bulger, who is almost exclusively a singles hitter, drives one through the left side. He's aboard with nobody out. That's his 22nd hit. And 21 of them have been singles. The other one is a home run. So a good start for Bulger as he singles between Farquhar and Moore on the left side. And this brings on Javier Vaz.
Tell you what, this is the, I believe nephew of Roberto Vaz, who was a train wrecker at Alabama back in the Omaha days of the 90s. I saw him play in high school. He came down your way, Lynn, and played at LSU Eunice, now having a great run here at Vanderbilt.
Well, if he played at LSU Eunice, he won a junior college national championship.
I watched him on this field. Huntsville High School came down and played Auburn High School, and he was a wrecking machine. Went to junior college, got it going there, and now playing for a great team here with Coach Corbin and Vanderbilt.
Vaz hitting .261, a couple of homers. Two quick strikes on Vaz with Bulger at first base.
Well, and you hear Coach Corbin yell, good, good on that swing. That's what Coach Tim Corbin wants. He wants the ball deep. He wants a guy like this to hit the ball the other way, use the hands, not get out early, try to do too much. Hear him communicating with his hitter from the third base coach's deck there.
Bulger takes a moderate lead.
There he is. He was at Clemson when I was at North Carolina State, and my first SEC series was against Clemson. He came right over, introduced himself, was so friendly, and then got this job. And, man, it's just taken Vanderbilt to heights they had never seen. 2 national championships, constant super regionals, great crowds. He's built a great program.
Bulger bluffs a dash from first base. He's tried 2 stolen bases this year, and he's been successful both times.
Then here's the concern for Auburn. If they don't get a good start, they used their top 2 guys yesterday. They don't have a lot of depth. They have Mason Barnett down there who's done some relief, but they really need Trace Bright to settle in here and give him some good work. He can run.
Bright will make the play at first base. Teixeira is waiting. Bright was probably getting some help from his infield teammates on where to go with it. I thought for a moment he might try to get the lead batter at second base.
Well, and you know what you always teach guys? Hey, just get an out. just give us an out. If we do something and we don't get an out, oh boy, the wheels come off. But if we just get an out, it's just something about it. It keeps things kind of in focus. But when you don't get an out and try to take a risk, things fall apart.
Jonathan Vastine, a freshman, making only his 6th start, is in the lineup today, hitting 105. He's driven in 1 run. Teixeira is charging, and the ball takes a right turn before it gets to first base.
Trace Bright's thrown 28 pitches. I would say, Lynn, I'm going to postseason.
The 2-2 pitch. Lifted out of play on the left side.
Great at bat by Vastine. What you want to see from a young guy, just hanging there in battle. What is 2-strike hitting? Somebody's got you pushed into a corner, and you got to fight your way out. You just got to stand there in battle. There's different looks. Blake Rambush for Auburn, he gets really wide. Some guys choke up. I don't see a lot of difference here from Vastine, but I see a guy just sold out, just ruin the next pitch. Get the next pitch and hang in there.
Carter Young is on deck. Again, the 2-2 pitch with 1 out, a runner in scoring position.
That's it.
That's a high strike, and it takes care of business. Vastine goes down looking. 3rd strikeout for Trace Bright.
And Lynn, everything had been away. Watch this. This is not away. You go away, 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 and all of a sudden, boop, look out. And the hitter just can't adjust. Great pitch by Trace Bright.
So here's Carter Young with 2 gone now.
Say the inner half of the plate's not given a lot by umpires. It's almost like it's a rectangle when you talk about the inside corner. But right there, catcher didn't move. Bright hit his spot. Home plate umpire awarded him.
Young, the shortstop, was 0 for 3 last night. 5-1 the final. Auburn winning the opening game of the series, and that bender is in.
Yeah, there's your first good curveball. So it's 76. So if you're looking at the velocity, I don't know if we're showing it or not, but I'm seeing it. That's about 7 miles off the cutter. So we got 95, 86, and then 76. That's what you call mixing and changing speeds. Doing a good job pitching.
Trace Bright, 2 wins, 2 losses, and a very respectable earned run average of 2.70.
Carter Young's one of our top prospects in the SEC. We've got him listed as one of the top 5 or 6 in the conference. Now you're talking about a conference that will show it to you where the SEC is as far as major leaguers on opening day rosters the other day. This guy's one of those guys they see highly as a draft coming up in the summer.
4 home runs, 19 driven in for Carter Young. He has started every game but 1 for Auburn.
I don't remember when Vanderbilt, Lynn, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, didn't have a great shortstop. Ever since Tim Corbin. Tim Corbin was a middle infielder. He started the program at Presbyterian, then went to Clemson. He's always had a great middle infield and a shortstop to go with it.
Young is making his 29th start for the Commodores. He has missed 1 game this year. Teixeira gets in front of it, and he'll make the toss. Brody Moore, a senior, at the plate. And the count is 1-1.
And Lynn, Brody Moore and Kason Howell, they're both 4th-year guys, no red shirt.
There is time for Holton to recover, and he made a nice play after bobbling it initially.
Well, and he had a breaking ball there out front. Good pitch there by Holton. But Brody Moore is just the guy for Coach Thompson. You'll see it here. Pitcher's fielding practice, right? PFP twice a week. Catch it and throw it. He didn't panic. That was a good thing. He didn't panic, didn't throw it away. Made a good throw, got the out.
Here's Cole Foster, the sophomore, hitting .274. He's knocked 4 out of the ballpark today, or this season, with 22 driven in.
highly ranked out of Texas. He's found his groove a little bit, Lynn. Switch hitter, hit a big solo shot last night. We highlighted that. This guy is starting to find himself as a sophomore as he goes through the season. Can run, very physical. Like I said, highly ranked shortstop coming out of Texas. Auburn's done a really good job, much like LSU in Texas. A lot of players. Auburn getting their share.
Foster is from Plano, Texas. That's in the northern part of the state. He's ahead. 2 balls, no strikes, a hitter's count, and he knows what to do with it.
I'm telling you, Cole Foster's coming. Lynn, Cole Foster's one of those guys we're going to talk about down the end of this season and come back around next year. Cole Foster comes in here kind of like Carter for Vanderbilt, a highly ranked potential draft guy. He's starting to get it. You want your sophomores to get it. That's when they should start figuring things out. The freshman year is kind of like bright lights, but all of a sudden, sophomore year is when the sophomore pitchers, position guys, and hitters kind of start figuring things out, or you hope they do, and Cole Foster is.
So Cole Foster, after a flatter than a fritter liner to left field, is at first base with 1 out, and here's Bobby Pierce.
Carter Holton, we talked about the breaking ball. He throws it probably 40% of the time, got ahead there with a really good one. It's a legitimate 12-6, lots of depth to it. Good start for him.
Pierce has been a part-time player. This is only his 5th start, his 15th appearance. He's driven in 3, had a couple of triples, which is the most in the lineup for Auburn today.
And Lynn, he's been really kind of buried, but got a chance at A&M with an injury, and he has not come out of the lineup since. Good player from Arizona Junior College. Auburn's filled some gaps with some transfer portal guys. Vanderbilt more the freshman route. Auburn, because of some logistical things we can talk about down the road, but they really do fill more with the transfer portal guys and a junior college guy, which is what Bobby Pierce is. But good for him. He waited his turn. He's gotten a chance, and he's taken advantage of it.
Nate LaRue is on deck. 1-0 Auburn on a Teixeira home run. He tattooed it over the center field wall on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Foster is doing a lot of housekeeping in that dirt down at first base. That breaking pitch stays elevated.
And the one thing about Holton, you'll see he missed arm side there with the breaking ball. He kind of fell toward third. Your pitchers want to stay lined up. They have to stay through the pitch. And if he's going to keep throwing those good breaking balls he threw early in this kind, he's got to stay with it and finish it a little bit better.
There is ball 4.
Got ahead, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, sped things up maybe. Good at bat there by Bobby Pierce, but Holton fell behind with the breaking balls to his arm side.
Mark, you made the point how quickly Vanderbilt pitchers normally work on the mound. Is it difficult to hold runners when your pace is so quickly to the plate normally?
Well, he did a decent job there, and lefties are different, obviously, than righties, but he did a good job there. The walks are what has hurt Holton, but yes, you want to be sure that you don't over-quick it, right? I want to make sure I'm in control, but I'm working with a good rhythm.
So Auburn has 2 aboard for the first time in this game, with Foster and Pierce at second and first respectively. Here's Nate LaRue.
Highly valued guy, Nate LaRue out of high school, getting his time.
LaRue is hitting sub 200 right now. This is his 12th start, his 19th appearance.
Well, 6 or 7 weeks ago, he was buried. He's a pitcher, Lynn. He'll throw at 92, 94, and there was some thought he might have a future there, but he started catching again. I think it was kind of A&M or leading up to that. He got his chance. He swung the bat, hit a big home run out there, and catching great.
He's had 10 driven in, so he's had some productive at-bats.
Big, strong kid. There was a lot of back and forth out of high school. Is he going to be a high draft pick as a catcher, as a pitcher? He came to Auburn, and really kind of like Pierce. It's been a year and a half of wait your turn. Now he's getting his chance.
The outfield is deep, and maybe a couple of steps toward the right side, playing LaRue as an opposite field hitter by maybe 3 or 4 strides.
See if Holton goes back to that big breaking ball here. Got to stay with it with 2-2 count.
Farquhar is on deck. This is swung on and lifted on the infield. Let's see if they call the infield fly rule. No, it will carry out to the right fielder. And the catch is made by Spencer Jones.
I tell you, with the way this wind is blowing, Lynn, you mentioned the infield fly rule. With the way the wind is blowing, the rule for an infield fly rule is the umpire's got to see the infielder's feet set. There ain't no setting going on out here today with this wind blowing 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. Great play there by Jones. Way up high, tough sky, blowing around, great catch.
So Farquhar steps to the plate with 2 outs and 2 on. 1-0 Auburn. Carter Holton, the starter for Vanderbilt. Farquhar making his 10th start. He's homered twice. He's got 8 driven in.
Hoover High School product. Same with Sonny DeShera. Farquhar, one of 4 guys. Coach Thompson has a leadership team. Kason Howe, Brody Moore, some guys you might expect. Garrett Farquhar's on that team too.
Farquhar did not play last night. Auburn won that one 5-1. If you're just joining us, a good start in this series for the Auburn Tigers, shutting down Vanderbilt on just a couple of hits allowed. And 3 home runs already for Auburn in this series. 2 last night. And the DeShera bomb today.
Much like Vanderbilt, Gabe Gross in the third base box has taught these Auburn hitters. 2-strike hitting is like breathing. You got to dig in there in battle. Farquhar a little bit closer to home plate now with 2 strikes. That's it. That's it. Don't get big. Don't try and do too much. It's like trying to play pepper. It's like trying to play ping pong. Just get something you can handle. Let your hands work. 2 foul balls with 2 strikes. You want to put pitches in the pitcher. Try to wear him out, get in the bullpen. Both teams doing a pretty good job of that so far today.
Farquhar stays alive as he flicks that one foul.
Tell you, as a pitcher, Lynn, it drove me nuts when guys would battle. But as a fan, I love it. It's such a part of the game in this launch angle, exit velocity. Just go up there and hack. We've lost that art, except in college baseball. Still buying into it, still teaching it here.
1-2 pitch, a breaking ball nubbed off the end of the bat, picked up by the second baseman who makes the backhanded flip. Vestine with a nice play. Ends the inning. Auburn leaves a pair at second and first, but has a 1-0 lead going to the third. Sonny DeShera's first inning home run with 2 outs has given Auburn's Tigers a 1-0 lead. Auburn holds the advantage 97-64, including a 55-22 lead in games against Vanderbilt here in Auburn. Auburn has won the last 4 games in this ballpark, but the Vanderbilt Commodores really over the last 10 or 15 years have had a lot of success against Auburn. That huge advantage by Auburn was built early.
Which is why Tim Corbin was hired, because Vanderbilt really was kind of the lower end year in, year out. But when he showed up and got it going, they were at the top end year in and year out.
Corbin, unquestionably one of the best college coaches in America. And by the way, congratulations to Butch Thompson, who collected his 200th victory in an Auburn uniform last night in the first game against Vanderbilt.
A lot of years in this league, and number 200, at the Auburn Tiger helm.
That's good stuff. He is about as unassuming as you can get,
really
too.
Is,
he may not even know it was 200.
Well, when you watch the Auburn dugout, you just don't see a lot of signs and fingers. They teach their kids to play. It's really refreshing, Lynn, to watch. They don't call any pitches. Tim Hudson has the walkie-talkie, has the potential to do it. But they teach these catchers and pitchers how to work together and call their own game.
And that is such a rarity.
It is. It is. You got index cards. You got pocket. You got all kinds of Vanderbilt.
You got radios. You got electronic equipment.
Yeah. Back in Oklahoma State series for Vanderbilt, they tried out the watches. And so if you're wondering what that means, they put the pitch in. There was no sign by the catcher. Let's go play. But those 2 guys right there, Hudson and Thompson, they teach their guys to play almost like a major league mindset. Let them go play.
Well, Parker Noland has drawn a base on balls, and this brings up Bradford at the top of the order. He was robbed of a base hit, at least a double, maybe a triple, on a tremendous catch by Howell to open the ball game in deep center field. This time he lobs it the other way to left field, and Bobby Pierce is waiting.
Well, when you can get him out on 2 pitches, first at bat, he hit the ball deep. When you can get him out with 2, that's big, because he is the table setter, 19 stolen bases. He does everything for Vanderbilt. Auburn's got him out twice on 2 pitches.
That's the first out of the inning, and it brings up Diaz, who struck out in the first. Bright has walked 2. And he has struck out 3. The only base hit was a Bulger ground ball to the left side.
Really good base run in there. A line shot caught over there by Garrett Farquhar at third base, and a really heads-up play by him. But great base run by the Vanderbilt runner over there to dive back and not get down. He went and he saw it, dove back. Farquhar was ready to go as well. It's good baseball
on
there.
The backhanded side took that stream of milk and nearly turned it into a double play.
That's great. It's just good baseball all the way around. Freeze on a line drive, and if you're playing third, if you Garrett Farquhar, catch it and throw it. Don't hold it, let it rip.
Here's Spencer Jones. He drew a base on balls in the first. Jones is a big target, and that one was upstairs in the strike zone.
I can promise you in that Vanderbilt dugout there's tension, and not tension with each other. There's an offensive tension, a line drive there. Right now, offensively, it's just not clicking, which happens. Every team's going to go through it.
Parker is on the move after a big lead. The throw is...
Take a little off and spin it. If you're Carter Holton, throw a strike.
Teixeira had 18 home runs for Samford last year, and this is what he did in the first inning.
Fastball up in middle, and hello.
And then goodbye.
And Lynn, I don't think he got good barrel to it. He's so strong. I think it was off the barrel. He just muscled it out of here.
He lifts this one deep to right field, but it's playable. And caught in the sunshine by Spencer Jones.
So here was my thought, Lynn, as an SEC pitching coach a long time ago. With guys like Sonny Teixeira, you better not play with them. And Carter Holton right there went good breaking ball down, fastball in. That was a great sequence for him to get out. The best hitter in the country at this point in time, Sonny Teixeira. So good job there by Holton to really pitch and not play around with a guy that can scare you to death. And here's another one that can do it as well with Brooks Carlson. Just good pitching right there. Well done.
Carlson is working on his master's in business at Auburn. He is a graduate student player from Mobile, transfer from Samford as well, where he hit better than 300 in 4 consecutive seasons. A former first-team All-America by collegiate baseball and a first-team All-SoCon. And his brother, of course, Parker, is a freshman pitcher at Auburn.
It's pretty darn good. Good body, good arm. Not getting a lot of innings because of some of the upperclassmen, but I think he's bright future for him.
The throw down is off the mark, and the stolen base is recorded by Howell.
Now you see the numbers right there, Carl. This is the nation now. This is done at Samford for the most part. He was hurt the first month, that we talked about, Lynn, but this is what this kid has done throughout his career at Samford, now at Auburn, and man, just a great player and a great career, and really got it going now here in this Auburn lineup.
Those numbers are incredibly impressive. One of the most productive players in the country. Nice bender. You could hang a nightcrawler on that hook.
Yeah, and he's mixing it. He's doing a good job as Carter Holton of mixing it. You know, let's talk about Vanderbilt. Whatever they're in right now, your second baseman slips. That never happens. And right there, that ball was, Case and Howell was out, but the ball's just to the shortstop side on the throw. Things just not going their way right now.
A liner deep to left field. It is caught. A terrific catch. Wow. Wonderfully done by Vaz. Right at the wall. He leaped. He banged into the wall and made the grab with his glove right there. What a tremendous play by Vaz, and that saved a run, and Vanderbilt is celebrating. We'll watch it again.
Tell you, you're taught to let it get off the wall, not Vaz.
1 run, 3 hits for Auburn. No runs, 1 hit for the Commodores. And we play here in Auburn, middle game of this 3-game series. 1 o'clock is the start time tomorrow, Central Time. You can see it right here on the SEC ESPN network. This ball is ripped. It is over the batter's eye. It's a home run for Spencer Jones, and that ball may still be rolling somewhere. Spencer Jones with a titanic blast straight away to center field, and we are tied at 1, and both runs in this game.
Smoked. I mean a frozen rope. What'd I say, 440?
445 feet officially.
Getting better.
And 110 miles an hour, the velocity off the bat. That's one of the highest numbers of any home run this year.
So in golf terms, that's an 8-iron. That's 145 yards. Dry Sprite's been good. It's the SEC. You make mistakes. I heard it. There's an argument about a hit batter. I heard it, Lynn, and they're discussing it now at home plate. But I definitely heard a tick before the catch. I don't know if that's reviewable. I don't know what will happen, but I definitely heard something. They're going to talk about it.
The plate umpire made the decision, and now he'll ask for some help. Did anybody see anything otherwise?
Does that work for you, a tick before the catch? Is that how you would phrase it?
I think so.
Okay. My vocabulary is limited.
They're going to review this. They're going to review it. Listen to this. We'll use your oral powers and see if you can determine what happened here. Listen with us.
He reacted.
I got to tell you, I didn't hear it. Of course, my ears are old.
Well, I'm a younger fella. I mean, not as old as Ben McDonald, but a little bit younger. And the way that I'm losing my hitter, the way that Keegan reacted, I think kind of tells it. But I don't think it's enough to turn it over.
We'll take another look and listen.
Man.
You think it hit him?
I see a little bit of I just know I heard something. I just heard something. It's hard to hear it. It's going so fast when we show you the review.
That was me popping my knuckle.
Again, I don't know, man. Our camera guys are doing a great job, and the umpires are overtime so far in these last 2 innings. This is our third review in 2 innings, and see what they come up with. This one's not easy. The last two weren't quite as hard, the safe out calls. This one's difficult.
Keegan reacted immediately like that ball grazed him.
In a game like this, heck yes, let me have a hit batter. Get me on base.
We will get a decision right now. So he will stay at the plate. There was nothing on the tape that was indicative of a clear decision. Sometimes it's best if Keegan gets a base because this is one of the better hitters in the country.
Good cutter. He's still continuing his trace bright to mix that thing in there. The velocity's come off a little bit. It's cool, but he's in shape, so you wouldn't expect to see it drop to 82 yet. Could have gotten around a little bit too much. Becomes more of a slider in that case.
Keegan struck out in the first inning. He came into the game with a .412 batting average. A breaking pitch is launched deep to left field. Is there room? That's up high against the wall. Keegan is on his way to second base, and he slides there with a double.
It was just a little bit flat and straight. He needed something else, and now the fastballs. It was a hanging breaking ball on the double, but that was a fastball. The first pitch of Jones was a fastball. He's got to stay with that cutter. You and I talked about it. It was about 50-50 for the first 3 innings. This has been more fastballs than his 3 straight base hits. And a dangerous guy here.
Vaz had a tremendous play defensively up against the wall to take a base hit away from the Auburn Tigers, and he's first pitch swinging. He drives it high and deep. This is way, way back and up on the roof of that building, and the Vanderbilt Commodores have 2 home runs in the inning, the latest a 3-run blast by Javier Vaz. Has he been good early defensively and with the bat in his hand?
Len, you tell me. Hitting is contagious. Vanderbilt had a little bit of a flu going the last weekend against Tennessee. Of course, Tennessee's pitching staff can do that to you. Yesterday, a little bit with 2 hits, but now, all of a sudden, the explosion. Fastball up, 90 miles an hour. It's the 3rd base hit this inning on fastballs. Look at it. Knew it. Not a big fan of that, but whatever. It's the generation we're in. But 2 fastballs for home runs. Another fastball for a single in this inning.
Home run number 3 for Vaz. RBIs number 16, 17, and 18. Vastine is swinging on the first pitch, and that's been a common theme for Vanderbilt.
Yep, absolutely. I think that was the scouting report coming in. Trace Bright throws strikes. Don't stand there. Swing the bat. Vanderbilt, Tim Corbin, they're too aggressive to take. You got to swing. That's what they're doing.
Home run, double, single, home run. That's what Vanderbilt has accomplished here in the top of the 4th.
The option for Auburn here would be Mason Barnett out of the bullpen, but Auburn, Tim Hudson would love to keep this thing 4-1 and have him give you a couple more innings.
A liner to right field, and everything has been smoked by Vanderbilt here. 5 consecutive hits, and they have not been cheap.
Amazing, Lynn. It's just amazing to me how this can happen with an offensive team. Boy, they're going in the dugout. They're cheering, jumping up and down, and you feel it. And, man, you want to hit. Once you see it going ahead of you, you want to be up there hitting. And right now, Trace Bright does not have an answer. And he's got to go back to the cutter. He was good with it, and he's left it. 4 base hits this inning now on fastballs. Auburn's bullpen is very busy. Carson Swilling, another guy I forgot, been very good out of that bullpen. Here's Carter Young. He was a 3-1 putout in his first at bat. And again, Vanderbilt comes up taking a hack on the first pitch.
And a first pitch fastball. So you know Tim Hudson. And again, we talked about how they teach these guys. But I know Tim and Coach Thompson think, look, go back to the cutter. You're throwing too many fastballs. Vanderbilt swinging away. There it is. There it is. That's a good one. 3, 4, 5 in a row. If you're Trace Bright right now, you have to get out of this inning 4-1. So you do whatever you have to do to get out of the inning. Whatever feels right, throw it. If you're Vanderbilt, man, don't let him. Keep having good at-bats and keep pounding away.
4 runs in the frame for Vanderbilt, and this is the first time that the Commodores have led in this series. Look at the first 3 innings for Trace Bright. 1 hit, no runs. But things have come apart here in the 4th. 5 hits allowed and 4 runs. 2 home runs, 1 by Jones, 1 by Vaz.
And at 60 pitches, which is what you want to do if you're the offensive team. If you're on the offense, when this game starts, you have 2 goals. Score runs and knock the pitcher out as quick as you can to see what we got in that bullpen. Because the bullpens usually in the SEC, the bullpens in the middle, Lynn, are not as good as the starters. So you want to get in there, and Vanderbilt's on the verge of doing that. Every batter in this lineup for Vanderbilt was recruited nationally. I bet they had 12 to 15. You got a potential former major leaguer at all 9 positions. You can't play around on the mound.
You know, I'm glad you said that, Mark, because for years I have espoused that on every team in the SEC, every team, there is a future major leaguer. Not a potential major leaguer, but a future major leaguer. We don't know who it is. We're not saying they're all going to have an all-star career. But with every SEC team for years, there has been a forthcoming major leaguer.
And how many guys, Lynn, have you heard in the major leagues have gone, who was he? I called that. They blossomed.
Nice play at third, out at second. The relay throw to first is not in time. Farquhar got it started. Foster on the pivot at second base for the force out.
Well, a great job by Carter Young to push it and beat it. Great play by Farquhar, kind of falling back. Had to lead him a little bit. Kind of a football play there because second baseman was not there yet, but a great job of Carter Young by getting down the line and extending the inning, trying to keep the starting pitcher out there to make more pitches. It's good baseball.
This brings on the junior from Knoxville, Parker Noland. He walked and was thrown out on the base paths in the 3rd inning. Strike 1.
Second time through the lineup. Vanderbilt did their homework. You know, as hitters, you're talking nonstop. Hey, what'd you see? What does he have? You communicate. You build a repertoire. You build a resume. And then all of a sudden, second time through, boom, you get it. Put a 4 spot up, and you're back in the lead.
That levels the count at 1.
Had a chance to watch Trace Bright now for a couple years, and this has been a little bit of the MO. It's just getting through it. I don't know what it is because the stuff is legit. Just getting through it, but just needs to get this out. Keep it 4-1. Auburn offense has been swinging the bats. The home runs last night. They've had a good day so far today. They'll score some runs, but the Auburn pitching staff's got to keep it reasonable. Good cutter, just missed.
Now it's 3-1.
Look at the Vanderbilt dugout. There was very little energy. I watched last night a little bit. The first cup, now all of a sudden, up on top, everybody's up, got a couple hats turned backward. We were rolling for the Commodores over there. Trace Bright at 66 pitches, so he's going to finish the fourth if he can get out of this thing at almost 70.
He was rated the number 1 right-handed pitcher in Alabama coming out of high school.
Absolutely.
Former high school quarterback as well.
Trinity High School over Montgomery.
He had 11 starts last year with 4 victories, did Trace Bright. And last year he also had 8 appearances from the bullpen, runner going on the 3-2 pitch. And the inning is extended. And Trace Bright has been pitching a whole lot from the stretch in this inning.
He has. It's fatiguing. You're right. It takes out. Coach Baird, my mentor, always believed it was about a pitch and a half, Lynn, out of the stretch as opposed to the windup. But I don't know how long Auburn can mess around here and not try to get somebody in. It may be one more hitter for Tim Hudson, but it's a dangerous guy to try to get out here with 2 outs.
Bright, by the way, is a very good student. He is bright in the classroom. An SEC Academic Honor Roll member. Right now, he'd like to find a little guile and get Enrique Bradfield out. Bradfield had swung on the first pitch in each of his first 2 at-bats and was retired on fly balls. This time he lets it pass.
All right, we got a little time, Lynn. I'm going to test you here as a baseball fan. There's somebody that Enrique Bradfield reminds me of, identical, from the 80s. I'll let you watch him come back to the plate. Tim Hudson's going to have a pitching change here. It's going to be Carson Swilling, right-handed pitcher. But I want you to see if you can pick my little bitty brain on who he looks like from the major leagues.
Well, you are putting the pressure on me. I'll see if I can summon enough memory cells. We'll be back in a moment. A pitching change for Auburn. Vanderbilt leads it 4-1. Trace Bright is gone. The 4th inning was not kind to him, and Carson Swilling is the first out of the bullpen for Auburn.
Right-handed pitcher from down the road here in Smith Station, Alabama. Been very solid, Lynn, in this role. Kind of a long relief. Of course, you don't want him in the game if you're Tim Hudson or Butch Thompson right now, but it'll be 90 to 92, a really good slider. He fills it up and he competes. That Smith Station area is kind of a country area. The country boys from farms, they're really tough guys, and he is that.
Swilling with an 0-2 record, a 3.60 ERA. He's worked 15 innings. He has allowed only 11 hits. He's had the strikeout pitch working with 18 of them. Walks have been a bit of a problem, though.
Yeah, the slider is a strikeout pitch, and you're right that the walks with that few innings is way too many. So back to our trivia here. Anybody watching, play along. Who does he remind you of? Mr. Bradford. It's a 1980s question, so you got to have a little gray hair to get it right.
Well, I was going to go with Joe Morgan, but no, that was after Joe Morgan's
70s,
career.
And you're saying that because of the back elbow.
I am.
But the stance, the look, and the folks that are a little bit older watching, they're going to go, oh, yeah. I'm going to keep it from you. Suspense. Good breaking ball.
And it goes for a strike.
If I was on Twitter, you could tweet me, but I'm not on Twitter, so you can't tweet me and give me your thoughts. All right, so Willie McGee or Mookie Wilson.
Mookie Wilson.
Mets player, Kansas City Royals player, more like Willie McGee. Built like him, got the little elbow flinch, got almost identical.
I just like the name Mookie.
Mookie. Tell you, a base hit here, because you got 3 rabbits, all 3 guys. Young can really run. Enrique Bradfield can fly. Base hit here, and Vanderbilt will have a chance to stretch this thing out a little bit.
That's a strike in the upper part of the zone. And that levels the count at 2.
And back in the 2nd inning, I mentioned a fastball count. That was a fastball count. Carson Swilling threw a slider, which is what good pitchers do. Enrique Bradfield took it, which is what good hitters do. So all around there, good baseball.
This is pulled foul. A 4 spot in the 4th for Vanderbilt. Spencer Jones hit one 445 feet. Keegan doubled off the left field wall. Bulger singled, and then Javier Vaz ripped one down the right field line for a long home run, a 3-run shot. Ground ball left side. The force at second. The throw to first base. Not in time to get the sprinter, Enrique Bradfield.
Bradfield, see how he runs.
He draws a throw.
It's a 12-foot lead, Lynn. It's 13 feet to that cutout you see right there at first base. He's got a 12-foot lead, and he dove back with ease.
So that cuts the path to 90 minus 12, 78 feet.
Let me get my calculator.
There he goes. And the batter is hit. Davis Diaz took that one in the back. And the bases are loaded. There's a Commodore on every base. And here is Spencer Jones, who led off this inning with a titanic home run over the center field wall.
First pitch, fastball up and away after the Vaz catch. 445 feet. God.
When your center fielder turns his back to the infield that early in the flight of the ball, you know you're about to see something special.
And Lynn, you get the feeling here that the wheels are about to come off for Auburn. It's been one of those innings where one big swing here again by Jones and the game's out of hand.
This is the 10th batter to come to the plate for the Commodores in the fourth. A liner to left field that is down for a fair ball. It twists off into foul territory now, gathered by the left fielder, and two more Commodores come to the plate. And this has been a huge inning for Spencer Jones.
It's a backdoor breaking ball, and Jones stayed on it. So he but sent the home run dead center. Last at bat, this guy's 6'7". Hand control, body control. It's tough for a guy that big. He got a breaking ball on the back side of the plate. Watch this. And just kind of flicked it. Nothing special. Just flicked it. That's good hitting.
So Spencer Jones has driven in 3 today. And Auburn, which carried a 1-0 lead into the inning, now finds itself trailing 6-1.
It just doesn't end. Now you got to deal with Dominic Keegan. Came in hitting 412.
Keegan had a double earlier in this inning. He struck out in the first. First base is unoccupied. Bolger is on deck. Keegan, a senior out of Massachusetts, and he's backed away with a pitch.
Swing's got to be careful there, Lynn. That was almost a balk that you got to set. And he was really kind of quick to pump his hands and go. And the umpire, I don't think they missed it. I think it was just real close. Got to make sure you set your hands. You don't want to balk. You just want to try to get an out here and force them to swing the bat.
Keegan is the 11th Commodore to come to the plate. And he lines one deep into the left center field gap. That is down high off the wall. 2 more runs scored, and this has been a huge inning for Vanderbilt as Keegan has doubled for the second time in this frame. And Vanderbilt has taken an additional lead. It is 8-1.
Fastball middle, up, in, and smoked by a guy that's been around the block a little bit as a senior there for Keegan. This is how potent this team is. They were really stymied by probably the best pitch staff in the country by Tennessee last week. And that can be a little bit of a hangover for you, Lynn, into yesterday in the first couple innings today, but not now. They have found their way out.
Jack Bolger has had a good day as well. He's 2 for 2. And he has scored a run. A sophomore out of Maryland is Bolger.
More action in that Auburn bullpen. You know, if you're Coach Thompson, you know your offense is swinging the bats, and it's 8-1, but you have 6 more at bats. You have to try to get out of this thing and not let the 9th run score. I would always tell my pitchers, don't let the next guy score. Just stop it now. See what happens.
That's a strike. That levels the count. Vanderbilt in the first 12 innings of this series scored 1 run on 3 hits. The 4th inning alone, 8 runs on 7 hits, and they have all been stingers.
You want me to say it again? How about the catch that guy made out left field to end the last inning? I'm done. I apologize. That was how good it was. That's what it does.
And another screamer into the left field corner. This will go for a pair and an RBI and 3 doubles in a row, which have accounted for 5 driven in. Jones a 2-run double, Keegan a 2-run double, Bulger a 1-run double.
8 hits in this inning, 2 home runs, and as you said, 3 doubles. That's how you do it. Tell you, this Vanderbilt offense, they've scared people for years. When I was the pitching coach at Auburn, I used to close my eyes and hope they hit it to somebody. And this is what you see out of them. When they get going, it's not singles and bunts. It's doubles and home runs.
This Vanderbilt offense in the 4th inning has been hotter than a pepper sprout, and it has accumulated a tremendous inning after trailing 1-0.
Go back to the at-bats early with 2 strikes. After Jones hit the home run, there was 2 guys that had 2 strike at-bats, fouled off 3-4 pitches, just kept the inning going. Talk about the guys getting down the line. Carter Young beating out a double play. Bradfield beating it out, which allowed the inning to keep going.
Vaz had a 3-run homer earlier in this inning. A 9 spot in a single frame is certainly rare, but that's what Vanderbilt has accomplished.
Yeah, it really is.
Vaz has been tremendous defensively in left field.
And I'm always thinking pitching, Lynn. So I'm thinking about Carter Holton over in that Vanderbilt dugout for 30 minutes. It's cool breeze. You know, what's he doing right now? We got a hot pad on, just trying to stay warm and have to go back out really and warm back up again when the inning is over. He loves the runs, but he's had to sit for a while.
The 2-0 pitch finds the strike zone.
There were almost times where when I was pitching this would happen. You wouldn't pull for outs, but you kind of hope, like, all right, let him hit a rocket at somebody. I want to get back out there now that I have this nice lead. I don't want to sit here any longer, especially on a cool day.
Three balls and a strike.
Where does baseball begin? Right out there in that little orange bump, right in the middle of the field. Got to pitch.
You are only as good as the guy who has the ball that day.
Man, oh man.
Vaz waves, and we've got a full count. First base is open. This has been a powerful explosion for the Vanderbilt offense here in the 4th. The Commodores have battered around and then some. Vaz lifts it into shallow right field. Rambush is there, and the inning is over. But the Commodores get tremendous play. Let's start it off defensively. Vaz taking a base hit away, and then home runs in the inning. One by Jones, one by Vaz. 9-1 Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has 9 runs on 9 hits. 8 of those hits came in the 4th inning, and all 9 runs were produced in the top of the frame. And Auburn has some work to do now, trailing by 8. Carter Holton has a huge lead with which to work in the middle innings. And he misses high and away to Brody Moore.
And Lynn, if this is a word, it's a re-warm-up for Carter Holton. He's got to get it going again. First 2 pitches, again, you kind of would expect this. You know, there's nowhere to throw. There may be a tunnel underneath to play some catch, but it just takes a few pitches.
There's a really nice breaking ball.
On a 1-1 count. Boy, what a hammer. Nasty.
Brody Moore was a high school shortstop. Last year for Auburn, he had 49 starts at second base. And he hit .292, and that's one of the reasons why.
He's a baseball player. Scored 1,000 points in basketball. Great athlete. First team All-State in football. And his dad played here, then went on to play about 10 years professional baseball. He's a baseball player right there. Get the same breaking ball with 2 strikes and just stay with it and find a hole and shoot it back up the middle.
You know, one of the things that people may not realize, Auburn led the SEC last year in double plays with 53. And Brody Moore at second base was involved in 41 of those.
Had a guy named Ryan Bliss over there at shortstop. Pretty darn good player. And that's what Auburn has done. It's been about a 6-year pattern of the young guy like Cole Foster. I would expect to kind of transition to short next year if Bertie Moore leaves. He does have this COVID year left, but kind of might see Cole Foster slide over. Another guy, young guy, slide in at second next year.
This is playable in right field. And it comes out of the blue sky into the glove of Spencer Jones.
Lynn, let's talk about why Carter Holton is the perfect college left-handed pitcher. He's 5'10", 6 foot, so he's not going to be a high draft pick. He's from South Florida, which means he's played some really good baseball. He can spin a breaking ball with his eyes closed, throw it for a strike. He is the perfect college left-hander. If he's 6'3", you probably never see him because he's going to be a high draft pick, but he's perfect. This is what you want in college baseball for a lefty. The breaking ball sets him apart.
Bobby Pierce, his first pitch swinging, and lifts this one up the elevator shaft. And it comes down in the glove of Carter Young at shortstop.
It's a four-seam fastball up, and that's what Carter Holton, can do. He can elevate the four-seam fastball, which is what he did right there to Pierce. Elevate the barrel, hands get under it, pops it up, quick out. Great pitching.
Nate LaRue steps in with 2 gone. A junior out of Mobile, a part-time catcher the last 3 years. Here's a note on Nate LaRue that Auburn trivia folks will like. He was the first Auburn player since Josh Donaldson in 2007 to catch and pitch in the same season. He had 1 inning against Jacksonville State last year and struck out a batter.
And he can run it up there. He needs to get the bat going. Big, strong guy, doing a good job behind the plate. But they need him to start matching the hits with the size.
You know, I can just hear a catcher making a case, though. Coach, I'm throwing it back 60 feet 6 inches every pitch. Why not let me reverse positions and try 1 or 2?
That's right.
That's a close pitch, but out of the zone.
Boy, Holt wanted that one, and I don't blame him. I'd want it, too, if I was out there. Good pitch on the inner half. Just didn't get the corner. So the arm slot is high. The fastball and the breaking ball come out of the exact same slot. It's a quick arm. It's a lightning quick arm. That's a good pitch there, too. I don't know, down a little bit.
Auburn needs base runners. Moore had a base hit, but Foster and Pierce have flied out and popped up. Here's LaRue trying to extend the inning. He's got a hitter's count at 3-1. Let's see if he takes. He swings and was over that pitch.
We talked about Auburn calling the signs. Vanderbilt, I don't know if they're wearing the watches. Something's on the wrist so they are wearing the watches, and you're asking, well, what the heck's a watch? We'll tell you about that, but that's what they're doing to call signs. It all started back at the beginning of the season.
This is smashed to center field. It is up off the scoreboard. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. Nate LaRue drives one off the scoreboard, a 2-run home run, and Auburn has cut the lead. A big 2-out blast by Nate LaRue.
He did it 2 weeks ago at Texas A&M when he got his first chance to play. That is what Auburn needs. They really need him to be hitting fourth. Here's a fastball up, and he didn't get it above the hands. That's a guy with some serious strength right there. Nate LaRue just mashed it.
That's his 2nd home run of the season, his 11th and 12th run driven in. And Auburn's lead, or Vanderbilt's lead, is now 6. So this has been a huge inning, 9 in the top of the frame for the Commodores. And Auburn comes back with a pair with 2 outs.
Carter Holton comes right back. You're going to give up home runs in the SEC, but you got to come right back and just make pitches, and he's done that. 1-1 count.
A liner to right field off the bat of Farquhar. Farquhar with a nice little sweet swing, put it on the fat part of the bat, and drills it into right.
Great story is Garrett Farquhar, junior college player, transferred over like Bobby Pierce, much like Nate LaRue, kind of been buried. All of a sudden gets a chance to play. He's played second, he's played short, now he's playing third, swing the bat, getting a chance in his 5th-year senior. Good for him. Farky, they call him around here. The hitting machine. I think this guy right here, Rambush, has a legitimate chance to hit 400, along with DeShera, along with Keegan for Vanderbilt.
That is so difficult to do over the course of an entire season.
Don't even talk about that anymore, Lynn. Here's 3 guys in one game that I think have a legitimate. We're 4 weeks in. We're 30 games in. They're all still hitting 400.
Rambush, a junior out of Austin, Texas. He's 21 points short of 400 right now.
Interesting there. He wanted time. He didn't get it. Home plate umpire, they're having a conversation there about, you look, certain time passes where I can't give you time. And if you're a pitcher, you want that. You don't want to be about to pick your leg up and have the hitter be given timeout.
Rambush played for Grayson College last year. He led Grayson and was 11th in the National Junior College Athletic Association with a 4.44 average.
Yeah.
He had 71 hits in 45 games.
Stole
That's
30
remarkable.
bases, yeah, hit home runs.
Stole 33 bases, in fact. You're looking at a very complete player at the top of the order for the Auburn Tigers.
And talking about these three guys in this game, DeShera, Keegan, and him, I don't think there'll be an extended slump for these guys. They just hit. This is where he's so fun, Len. If you watch his feet, he's just about spread out chalk to chalk, which he's only probably 5'8", but he gets out there and he's just saying, I'm going to use my hands. Throw whatever you want. I'm going to let my hands work and let my legs be quiet.
He's like a very wide croquet wicket at the plate.
No doubt about it. No wasted motion. Just watch. It'll be very little motion. Just kind of get the rhythm going. Let the hands work and try to shoot something to the right side. It's a veteran Auburn lineup. The 9 runs weren't good in the top of the inning for Vanderbilt, but this veteran Auburn lineup's not going to panic. They're going to come right back and just put together good at-bats. It's not about how many hits, it's how many good at-bats can you have. That will lead to good things happening.
Rambush spoils another pitch.
Back in the preseason, I say preseason, early season, I think it was against maybe Middle Tennessee State. He had a 14-pitch at-bat. And the Auburn offense was kind of just lukewarm. He had that at bat, got a hit. I think they scored 7 runs in the next 2 innings.
Holton finds it, gets it over to first base for the out. Washington State.
You mentioned that. I always love looking at being a recruiter back in the day and enjoying that process. I love to look at rosters and see how many states. Vanderbilt, 18 different states on this Vanderbilt team, and Washington of all places, to get a really good player.
That's a good off-speed breaking pitch.
Yeah, 1-0 fastball count, throw a breaking ball. That's how you pitch in this league. But Carter Young from Washington, they've got guys from New Hampshire and Maine. They've got guys from Nevada. Tim Corbin reaching all across the country, which he can do that because of the Vanderbilt name now.
If you're a high school player in Maine, say, or any New England state, really your school year is done before you're pretty much into the middle of baseball season. They always conclude their high school seasons in June or even beyond. Nice play by the second baseman as Cole Foster picks it up with his glove and continues the flip on over to first.
Well, and Tim Corbin's home state is Connecticut. So even when he was at Clemson, he had guys from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Maine. He knew coaches. He found guys because it is cold. You're right, Lynn. You can't play until May. So Coach Corbin found guys, and he's still getting them here at Vanderbilt.
You can go watch a high school baseball championship in those states in late June or early July.
I called a recruit one time in Wyoming, of all places, and it was like late April. I said, how's the season going? He said, Coach, there ain't no season until June. I said, that's a good point. 4 feet of snow still on the ground.
Well, Isbell has retired the first 2. And he sneaks in a bender.
Yeah, that's about 4 or 5 now. Sliders back-to-back in fastball counts to keep these Vanderbilt hitters from charging that fastball.
Parker Noland has walked twice. He aims for the right center field gap, and he finds it. It 2-hops the fence, and Parker Noland steams into second base with yet another double. This has been a 2-bagger factory for Vanderbilt.
Extra base after extra base. That's how you win in this league. You hit 3-run home runs and you hit doubles, and that's how you win in this league. And look here, you get a fastball middle in. It was trying to go away. I saw LaRue motion to Tim Hudson. He missed his spot. Very little wasted motion and just a good swing for a double. And here comes Bradfield again.
That's 5 doubles for Vanderbilt. all in the last 2 innings.
It's the 5th inning. It's his 9th at bat. Willie McGee.
I'm glad you finally helped me out with that. This is well hit on its way to left field. It's halfway up the wall. Another double and another RBI as Bradfield, with 2 outs, drives in a run, and Vanderbilt now has a 10-3 lead.
Lynn, this game's not that easy. This game is not that easy. And right now the Vanderbilt offense is making it look really easy against an 82-mile-an-hour slider and a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And, man, they are just playing pepper with that green monster out there and doing a good job of it. Good job with them by answering back. Auburn put up 2 runs, got a little momentum. Vanderbilt just took it right away from them.
And the back-to-back doubles have come with 2 outs and nobody on base. Here's Davis Diaz, a freshman from Pittsburgh, California. A strike from Isbell.
I know Coach Corbin feels a lot better in that third base coach's box now. I mean, there was no panic. He's seen this before. He's seen an offense just kind of hit a lull, but they're out of it, and they are hacking and attacking, and I know he feels much better about what he's seeing. The approaches are good. They're not swinging at pitches right there. That was the first pitch slider out. You don't swing at that pitch. Oh, you take it, give it to the pitcher, and try to get a better pitch on the 0-1 count.
For Vanderbilt, though, losing 5 of its last 7 games, now 6 of 8. Coming into this game today, that's a major slump
really
for Vanderbilt.
For
not something that's common at all.
No, they don't lose 7 games in a season, or 5 out of 7. It just hasn't happened. So kind of probably a time to soul search. But again, now, let's just say that it was Tennessee. I mean, it was a team that's 29-1 last weekend that kind of put them in that loss. So it wasn't against anybody that was limping along.
That is squeezed in center field by Kason Howell, and we move on. Vanderbilt adds to its lead. It's 10-3. Commodores over Auburn.
We come back into Hitchcock Field. Vanderbilt leading 10-3, and we are honored to have Hayden Mullins with us on the set today. Hayden, you pitched yesterday, 9 strikeouts, 4 1/3 innings. Talk about your start yesterday, and then talk about how important it is for you guys to try to battle here and try to do something to win this series today.
Yes, sir. It was a lot of sliders. Just throwing everything around the zone, trying to work on the command right now. But, I mean, we battled, and we're going to battle in this one.
Hayden, this Auburn team is one of the stories around the SEC, Tennessee, and Auburn, and 1 or 2 more. But what's been the difference from your standpoint between the start this year and the Auburn season of a year ago?
I think it's been completely different. We're just trying to throw down every time we go out there, and we're not really worrying about the score, just taking care of processes.
Kason Howell going to get us going, and there's the big breaking ball again, Lynn. The first pitch breaking ball, a miss. He comes back with, that's called doubling up. So, Hayden, you know this is a good pitcher. You miss once with a breaking ball, come back and double up, and a lot of times the hitter's not looking for it.
Yes, sir. About 90% of the time you're going to double it up.
3 in a row.
Hayden, tell me when you're not pitching, such as today, tell me how you evaluate the opposing pitchers.
We're just looking for anything. Like to see what they're doing, see what kind of patterns we can find, and kind of pick up a thing or two.
It's a tough sequence every case in Howell, Lynn. He went breaking ball, then 92 on the black and just got it by Case. He's usually a really good 2-strike hitter, but a good job of pitching by Carter Holton. Hayden, you talked about a month ago, we talked to you about going from the big overhand breaking ball to the slider. Talk about that a little bit, because I saw it was really good yesterday. You got most of the strikeouts on the slider, not the curveball. What was the change and what happened there?
Yeah, I've gone more to a slider, a tighter breaking ball. It just looks more like a fastball out of the hand. Bigger breaking ball pops up a little bit, so I wanted something a little bit tighter, a little bit harder that can play off a fastball.
Still throwing the curveball some?
Yes. Trying to, at least.
Lynn, we had a Gabe Gross home plate umpire discussion there. Carter Holt's working fast, and Sonny DeShera was trying to get time out. Umpire didn't give it to him, and Gabe Gross didn't like it. I don't blame him.
Sonny DeShera at the plate. He's been one of the huge stories, not only in the SEC, but across the nation. Tell us about him, what this guy means, and what you've seen him do for the Auburn Tigers offensively.
Yeah, he's a huge addition to our lineup. Just having a guy like that in the heart that can do whatever, hit home runs, extra base hits, hit for average, do everything.
He looks like he brings joy to the game. Is he a guy who always plays with a smile on his face or quick with a joke?
I've never met someone that smiles more than Sonny DeShera.
How would you pitch him if you had to?
Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4.
Thanks for your honesty, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right.
Chuck and duck, Lynn. That's it. Hayden's right on it there.
I think that's wisdom right there.
Well, and here's where we see him being more of a hitter. 1-2 count. Watch him battle. He's a great hitter. I play with Frank Thomas. Frank Thomas knew the strike zone, and he proved that with a Hall of Fame career better than any big power guy I've ever seen. Sonny DeShera is right there with how he knows the strike zone.
And there is ball 4. DeShera leads the SEC in walks, or if he doesn't, he's right there. I know for most of the season he has. I don't have the numbers in front of me just at the moment, but we'll check on that. But this is a guy whose on-base percentage is incredibly high, not only because of the base hits, but his patience and his recognition at the plate. And he does not need a GPS to find his way to first base.
You're correct. Doesn't strike out, battles.
By the way, that was only the second walk from Carter Holton.
You can tell Carter Holton, he's an emotional guy, man. He gets it and he goes. He wants to work really fast. He wants to go quick and get in there. And, Lynn, sometimes that can work against you. Yes, you want to work quick. It keeps the defense alive. Sometimes, and he's pitching great. I mean, I'm being picky here. Sometimes you can work so quick you get yourself in a little bit of a frenzy instead of just maybe more of a plan per pitch approach.
And just to follow the DeShera story, that was the 30th walk he has drawn this season.
It's amazing.
And that does put him at the top of the SEC in walks drawn.
High breaking ball. The fans letting him know a little bit there. Definitely could have been a 3-1 count. Now you're a 2-2 count. Definitely high pitch for Brooks Carlson.
Carlson is lined out. Vaz made a tremendous play. This time he goes the other way and singles sharply with a 2-2 pitch. That's a very good job of hitting by Brooks Carlson.
It's a veteran Auburn lineup. The Vanderbilt lineup has got some young guys in theirs who are swinging the bat. But this Auburn lineup is seniors. There was a freshman, Mikey Bello, not in there today. But for the most part, there's no freshmen. It's all upperclassmen, and they act like it. They battle, have good at bats. They're down by 7, so what? Just keep having good at bats. That's all they can do. And great at bat there by Carlson. That ball was deep, almost in the catcher's mitt. They just shot it to right field. Another guy here, Brody Moore, did the same thing. So if you're Carter Holton, man, you're just one pitch away. All you need is to keep giving Tim Corbin some innings. And Coach Corbin's going to call time and chat a little bit. I don't see anybody throwing in that bullpen yet. But the way they're acting, that may be it, Lynn.
Well, Vanderbilt's players are coming out for a receiving line. And Vanderbilt has indeed made the call to the bullpen. So we will step aside. Starter Carter Holton leaves in the 5th inning with a 10-3 lead. The Commodores, in the middle game of this series, are up by 7 over the Auburn Tigers. Starter Carter Holton was lifted here in the 5th inning with a 10-3 lead, and Bryce Cunningham is the first out of the bullpen for Vanderbilt. He's a freshman from Headland, Alabama, and a big fellow, 6'5", 225 pounds. He comes in the middle innings with a big advantage as Vanderbilt exploded for 9 in the 4th and added 1 in the top of the inning. A 1.5 ERA, 12 innings of work, only 7 hits allowed. He has struck out 14 in those 12 innings and 4 walks, so some good numbers by this rookie in his 7th appearance.
Well, Vanderbilt walked right into Alabama, underneath Alabama and Auburn, and got one of their better arms to come up there and play. So this their ability to recruit nationally and go wherever they want and get whoever they want. The bad part for Carter Holton, Lynn, is he doesn't qualify for the win. I mean, he's got a 7-run lead, and I've been a pitcher in those situations. Man, just get me to the 5th, and just couldn't quite get there. But a solid outing for him.
Brody Moore takes a pitch out of the zone. Brody Moore has the distinction as a sophomore of playing 6 positions. He played every infield position. He also played left field and right field and did not make an error in the 17 games he played as a sophomore.
That was fun to watch Bradford get around that ball. He was not that Sonny DeSheriff was going to tag up, but Bradford just been taught, get around the ball, get your body lined up in case there's a tag. You can go to third. Good defensive play there by him on a routine fly ball.
We've got 2 center fielders in this game,
man,
who can cover more ground than pine pollen.
We sure do. We sure do. Case and Howe, Enrique Bradford, and again wearing number 51, Mr. Bradfield wearing number 51. Of Willie McGee.
What's this 97 number for Cunningham? That's like a wide receiver.
He probably played defensive end in high school and loved the number and brought it over to the baseball world. I don't know. They got a number 99 too, I think. A little bit of everything.
Yep, they've got a 95, 97, 98, and 99. Auburn trying to battle its way back into this after surrendering 9 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th.
I don't know why, Lynn. I'm a big fan of number 0. I've always liked, there's not many of them around. I just always like seeing number 0 on a baseball field.
What was your number?
13. Unlucky number 13 at times.
How about in your pro career?
Well, you know where you stay on the totem pole when you get number 97. And so routinely I was like number 97. That's probably pretty good here for Cunningham. But for me in my little bitty career, getting the 97, 98, that wasn't a good sign.
Well, don't be too modest. You did make it to AAA. This number is grabbed by the shortstop on the first base side and turned into an out.
What a play.
Carter Young covering a lot of ground. Makes the play at first base. Auburn fails to score and trails 10-3 to Vanderbilt. Spencer Jones will be the first batter for Vanderbilt. He's already had an impact defensively and offensively.
Early in the game here with that brick wall closing fast and made a great play. And then really got it going right here in that inning, the 4th inning for Vanderbilt with a blast over the batter's eye in center field. And
just for a little punctuation, he added a 2-run double in his second at bat in that 4th inning. 3 for 5 in the series. 3 driven in, a couple of walks. Keegan and Bolger will follow. Auburn got off to a quick start on a mammoth home run by Sonny DeSheriff, his 9th of the season. That came with 2 outs on the first pitch he saw in the first inning. And the Tigers kept the Commodores at bay through the first 3, but a 9 spot in the 4th and 1 more in the 5th have really put some distance between Vanderbilt and Auburn.
And time will only tell, Lynn, but what that inning will do for this Vanderbilt team. We mentioned they came in here 4-6 in the league. What it's going to do for them the rest of the way. That could be just the one defensive play by Vaz, then the big home run by Jones, and the wagon wheel started coming off for Auburn. That could be the inning that really got them going, maybe to an SEC championship. We'll see. Time will tell. It'll be fun to watch.
When was the last time Vanderbilt was sub 500 in the SEC?
I don't think they have been. Not in the Tim Corbin era. They're usually like 10-1, 9-2, starting out, kind of like Arkansas is this year, kind of like Tennessee is this year. But 1 inning, time will tell.
Well, speaking of Tennessee, and that certainly is the highlight, the spotlight story in the SEC so far. Tennessee has matched Florida in 1994 for the best SEC start at 10-0. And this is a Tennessee team that leads the country in earned run average, home runs, and slugging percentage. When you have the best pitching staff and the most powerful offense, that's a pretty good combination.
Sure is. And going for the series win today against Florida in Gainesville. They won on Thursday. Florida won yesterday. So I'm sorry, that's Arkansas and Florida. Forgive me, they're in Missouri. Tennessee is going for the second win of the series.
Look at the most consecutive wins to start SEC play. Florida and Tennessee, several years apart at 10-0. Look out down there, Vanderbilt.
5 consecutive sliders by Chase Isbell. There you see what you were talking about.
Arkansas in 2009 won its first 8 games. But the 1994 Florida Gators and the 2022 Tennessee Volunteers, 10-0 out of the gate in the league. Ground ball right side, base hit. How about the day Spencer Jones is having? He has not been retired.
He's having it, Lynn, and it's hard for a 6'7" guy to hit because there's so many holes in a 6'7" guy's swing. You can go in because he's so long. You can go up and away. But man, today he's done it. Dead center home run, left side hanging breaking ball double. Now he pulls a single to the right side. He's used the whole field.
Here's Dominic Keegan. Good off-speed pitch. Keegan batting .419. He doubled twice and scored twice and knocked in a couple of runs in the 4th inning. He's 2 for 3. He struck out in the 1st.
One thing you can never do with aluminum bats, you can't stop. You got to keep the pressure on all the way through to the 9th inning and the game's completed. And Vanderbilt wants to keep building on the momentum. They feel good right now. They've had some good swings, good at bats. They want to keep it going as long as they can.
Keegan finds the hole under the diving Farquhar at third base. So he's 3 for 4.
Steady dose of sliders from Isbell, and Vanderbilt doing a good job of staying on those sliders. Got one in the middle right there. Didn't try and do too much. Keegan just shot it through the hole. He came in hitting 400, 412. That's climbing on the day for him.
Here's a guy whose average is climbing after a 3 for 3 performance, Jack Bulger.
Looking at that scoreboard, it has the 9 hitters for Vanderbilt, and it's just a bunch of 3s in the hit column.
Bulger has singled twice and driven in a run with a double. And he had 2 hits in the 4th inning. Ball 1.
You and I were talking earlier, Lynn. I know you've seen a lot of it. We have reached the era of the 3.5 to 4 hour baseball game. It's a lot of offense, and I have my reasons why, and we can talk about that some. But you know, just we have a stat we can show you this how the pitching has gone down this year, and the hitting has gone up. The numbers and where that all leads. And Lynn, my theory is this: I was having a conversation with Coach Barrett about 6 months ago, and he said, you know, Mark, he said, we've left the generation of Greg Maddux where can you sink it, change it, spin it, pitch, and all that matters now is how hard do you throw. And that's great. The only problem with that is the harder you try to throw, the more balls you throw, and the more balls you throw, the more pitches you give the hitters to hit. So therefore you end up with lots of walks, lots of offense, and some long baseball games.
And I think there's another factor, and your point is extremely well made, Mark, but the theory behind pitching now, you get 3 or 4 innings out of a starter, and you think he's done.
That's it.
So you're not having 2 and 3 pitchers a game. You're having 5, 6, and 7 a game.
That's right. Kyle Hendricks started for the Chicago Cubs on opening day. His best fastball was 87 miles an hour. He won 15 games in major leagues. I know he's a rare gem in this world we live in, but it can still be done.
Well, the average major league fastball, the average is 94 miles an hour.
Yeah. So what does that mean? To me, it means nothing, because I'm going to ask, can he sink it? Can he throw a breaking ball? We've seen some today. Off-speed pitches and fastball counts. Carter Holton did a good job of that. Can he throw a changeup? And there's so many questions other than how hard do you throw.
But let me throw you a statistic that's remarkable from a couple of years ago. And this is when the exit speed and the arc swings and all of the spin rate and all of that started coming into vogue. strikeouts were up by a lot.
Right.
Home runs were up by a lot. And game time was really up by a lot.
Yeah.
So you had more strikeouts, more home runs, and games that were lasting a long, long time, and it all came together.
Yep, no question. And I'm going to put the thing.
Javier Vaz at the plate. And he takes a strike. Vaz has been a factor defensively and offensively in this game. He's got a 3-run homer. 11-3 Vanderbilt. After Auburn won last night 5-1. Vaz grounds it down to Teixeira. He'll make the play.
Well, and there, Keegan, you got nobody out. So the infield was up for Auburn, but if you're the offense with nobody out, you got to see it through. Now, with one out, now right here, if we see a ground ball by Vastine, you'll see Keegan go. Maybe 11-3 game, maybe not, but usually it's contact right here with one out.
Vastine has sandwiched a single in between a couple of strikeouts. And he whacks that one foul.
So you're going on contact. So if you're Keegan at third base, what you're looking for is down angle off the bat. And as soon as you see it, Lynn, you don't stop. It's feet first slide, hard as you can go. Don't get in a run down. Try to beat the throw.
Vanderbilt had no success with runners in scoring position yesterday. 0 for 3, but it's already had 13 chances in this game and is hitting better than 500. 7 for 13. Man, what a difference a day makes, huh?
Well, it also tells you about Skipper and Burkhalter. We talked about that tandem out of the Auburn bullpen. They've been that good. And Lynn, still, I think they were still kind of the hangover from the Tennessee series. It's gone. It's no longer there for this Vanderbilt offense. Vanderbilt scored a bunch of runs in the midweek game, non-conference game, but it's not the same pitching. They came in yesterday a little bit flat. Hayden Mullins was really good. The slider was good. Skipper and Burkhalter were good. So they kind of continued the Tennessee thing, but today they've broken through it.
Let's see if this is playable. Pierce battling the sun, nears the foul line. He makes the catch near the warning track. The runner from third tags. Pierce uncorks a long throw, but it's not in time. And the sacrifice fly adds to the Vanderbilt lead.
That would have been a fair ball. So if you're thinking maybe let it drop, no, it was going to be fair anyway, and you got to make out. So good job by Pierce and a good job by the Vanderbilt offense. Take what you're given, hit a deep fly ball, and get a sac fly.
So here's Carter Young. He's 0 for 3. Batting in the number 8 position for Vanderbilt. He has not had the ball out of the infield. You know, we were talking about the person that probably took most viewers to their first ball game, their father, their parents, their grandfather. That's what makes baseball so tremendous, the legacy down through generation after generation after generation, and the fact that a millionaire can be sitting next to a pauper and it doesn't make any difference.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's one of the charming things about this game. It's a place where kids are welcome. One of the things that really honestly warms my heart is when I see a dad holding his 10-year-old son's hand as they walk up the concourse, and the kid has a hat on that's way too big, and he's got his glove, and he makes a catch. He makes a foul ball. He runs something down in the stands, and that grin on his face cannot be duplicated. It has no price. That is the beauty of this beautiful game.
Absolutely. I grew up 30 minutes from Vero Beach, which was Dodger Town. I was a Dodger fan. Tommy Lasorda and Steve Garvey and Fernando Valenzuela. I mean, so many players. And we would sit on the berm in the outfield for 50 cents during spring training and watch Dusty Baker and Reggie Jefferson. So, yeah, that was my upbringing as that 10-year-old boy. And it's just so cool. So there was a pitcher from Auburn University named Joe Beckwith, pitched in the Major League World Series and the College World Series. Joe just passed away recently. It was a bad loss for the Auburn family. But I walked up to 25 pitchers one day with Dodger uniform. I said, hey, where is this Joe Beckwith guy? I got to say War Eagle. It was him. Of all 25, it was him. He signed an autograph for me and gave me a War Eagle. And so a pretty good day for a young kid. But you're right. It's a father-son deal, and moms and daughters are included, and it's a family situation all the way around.
I'll bet you still have that autograph.
I have it somewhere, no doubt. The greatest day of my life was pitching for the Mets in a spring training game against the Dodgers and getting a picture with Tommy Lasorda and having him sign it. And it was a big day, but so many good memories. And the Vanderbilt offense created some memories here today, I got to say, and they still got it going.
Parker Nolan takes a quick strike at the letters.
You and I will get a chance to work tomorrow, and if this lead holds, Lynn, then we talked about it coming in. Could Auburn win another series from Vanderbilt? Doesn't happen very often. Well, if it holds, we're going to find out if Auburn can do it tomorrow.
Nolan has had a good day at the bottom of the order. He has walked twice and doubled and scored a run. But then again, who hasn't doubled for Vanderbilt today?
It got off to a good start for Auburn. They won the football game, and they were up 1-0 the first inning, and then all of a sudden the fourth inning rolled around, and that was it.
Moore will step on the bag himself with a force out, and that ends the frame. Vanderbilt adds 2 more and takes a 12-3 lead. Baseball fans, here's a reminder that Friday night we'll have a top 20 baseball matchup for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 2 Arkansas hosts number 19 LSU in the second game of their 3-game series at Bob Walker Stadium in Fayetteville. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, Arkansas and LSU. Welcome back, everyone, with Mark Fuller. I'm Lynn Rollins. We are delighted to be coming into your living rooms, coming to you over your smartphones, your mobile devices, however you may be watching Auburn Vanderbilt baseball, the middle game of this series, throughout the world.
Pretty cool. And some good work here for Cunningham. Bryce Cunningham, a freshman, got a big lead. And this is what you want to do if you're Tim Corbin, the pitching staff. You want to build your freshman lane. What a great time to do it. You're in an SEC game, which is important. You're on the road, which is tough. You have a good lead, so it's a nice cushion for him to get that work and become a guy, probably next year. Big body, good arm, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So these are great innings for these young pitchers because there's not a lot of stress. You're able to kind of work it a little bit and build some confidence. So a big opportunity here for Bryce Cunningham.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Bobby Pierce, who has walked and popped up to the shortstop. He sends a ground ball to the left side and out on a close play. A nice effort by Carter Young, the shortstop. He plucked it and transferred to his throwing hand in a very quick fashion and got the runner at first.
Watch this now. Foot speed, watch the release. In the glove, out of the glove. He did that to end the 5th inning as well. They were shifted. He fielded the ball where the second baseman would normally field it and made a great play. So you see why he's ranked so highly by, I think it's Baseball America, in the SEC, in the nation. And they're going to shift again now. He will shift over. Got a pinch hitter here with Ryan Dial, left-handed hitter, also catches some.
So he's going to pinch hit for Nate LaRue, who fly to right and homered with a teammate aboard. Dial takes a strike.
Well, and LaRue's probably going to start tomorrow. So what Coach Thompson is doing is, look, just get your starting catcher out. Dial's a catcher also. Dial's got some power, 4 home runs. Get some guys some at-bats.
Dial's a redshirt freshman. He had 22 starts as a catcher last year. And coming out of Georgia as a high school senior, he was rated the number 3 catcher in the state of Georgia. Another quick strike.
And what you can't lose sight of, Lynn, if you're Auburn, as bad as today is going, there's tomorrow. Tomorrow's chance to win the series, assuming they don't come back this game. So Coach Thompson's getting guys at bats, playing some different people here.
Speaking of Butch Thompson, congratulations to him. Last night's victory was his 200th as an Auburn baseball coach.
8th year, took him to Omaha in year number 4. Just done a great job for this Auburn team. Been around the SEC a long time. Went to the College World Series with Georgia, went to the College World Series with Mississippi State. And then finally, after 25 years of sweating and recruiting and being on the road, he got a chance to be the head coach. And he's done a great job. Very unassuming, but very much a leader. What you see right there when you see the camera on him is really what you get when you hear him speak. And he'll get excited every now and then with an umpire or something emotional that happens. But that's pretty much what you get. Very much like Coach Barrett. Very, very poised, very quiet.
Very studious.
He is. He is. Very good.
Diaz battles the sun as he backpedals, and the third baseman makes the catch.
And I would say Tim Corbin is the exact opposite. Tim Corbin's more of a high-energy guy. Runs and jumps over the lines. He kind of got his training from Jack Leggett, who was the epitome of high energy. Jack Leggett, after he went out to the umpire coach meeting, would go back in and slide in a player kind of funnel before the game started. Tim Corbin, I've seen a lot of those mannerisms from Coach Leggett and him as he's coached. They're different personalities, very successful coaches.
Farquhar lifts the first pitch on the
fly. We talked about what he did the last inning that extended the inning. He beat out a routine double play. He beat it out. And the next hit was a double to bring him around and then eventually score. So speed kills. He's used it well.
And he has probably taken advantage of that Florida weather. He's from the Sunshine State.
Hialeah, right there outside of Miami. And I mean, there's just...
It doesn't get too much farther south than that.
Or better baseball. I mean, you just can't beat it. And that's 80-mile radius around the city of Miami up to Fort Lauderdale. It's ridiculous, the talent just in South Florida. Now, you don't mention Orlando, but it just gets better as you work south, really from Jacksonville all the way down. But this area where he's from, man, great baseball.
That is a fair ball.
Watch him run. Watch him go.
Bradfield is pinwheeling around first. Let's see if he tries to take third, and he slams on the brakes and retreats, and yet another double. That's his second of the game.
Watch this. You want to see something fun? Unfortunately, he didn't go to third, but watch him get about to first and make the turn, Lynn. He was going, and Tim Corbin said, stop right there, my boy. I think he'd have made it. He was flying.
I think he would have made it, too. That's a 9-volt battery at full strength.
Well, if you're Tim Corbin, you're thinking, hey, the guy's going to score on a single. Why would I want to push it? I have to agree with him. Keep rolling, young man. Keep rolling. Run to the stop sign.
He's got 2 doubles. Jones has a double. Keegan has 2 doubles. Bulger has 2 doubles. And Noland has a double.
It's the one stop sign you can run through and not get a ticket. You might get yelled at by the coach, but you can't get a ticket. And I think he was going to make it.
Watch Bradfield's left hand. Is he trying to signal his teammate or block the sun? Yeah, I think it's just block the sun. I thought maybe he was trying to signal something to Diaz.
In the old days, that would have got your batter hit in the back. This generation doesn't happen anymore, but yeah, he has the sun right in his eyes.
Diaz was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, but that's been the only time he's reached base.
This has been a relentless attack. You mentioned all
That's
the
a great
doubles.
word for it. Relentless, man. With a capital R.
It is. It's relentless.
And a high chop charged by the shortstop. He's got it, has time to make the play, and Teixeira is waiting.
So
6-3 on the putout. More to Teixeira.
The rule there, if you're Enrique Bradfield, is high chop, you go. And he did. It's good base running. Despite the score being 12-3, Vanderbilt playing good baseball. If it's hit hard to your right, you retreat back. But if it's chopped, you got to read it off the bounce. He did, made a good run. A good play by Brody Moore to come get it. We're seeing some good shortstop play. We mentioned the center fielder play. Some really good shortstop play from Young and Brody Moore today.
We anticipated that Ryan Dial would stay at the game after he had an at-bat, and indeed he has. He's behind the plate, replacing Nate LaRue.
These are good innings for Cade Granzow. These are good innings for him. We talked about Cunningham on the winning side for Vanderbilt. Another freshman here. It's on the losing side, but these are good innings. You're facing a really good team. You're getting your feet wet in the SEC as a freshman, trying to learn to pitch a little bit.
Look at what Spencer Jones and Dominic Keegan have done today.
Ouch.
6 for 7, 3 doubles, a home run, and 5 driven in. Not a bad outing
at all.
Teixeira's coming to the plate with it. Out at the dish. That is an example of what Sonny Teixeira has made huge improvement.
And how
defensive play. He's got soft hands. He's got an accurate arm. 5th review of the game.
Well, and how calm he stayed. Enrique Bradfield going on contact. We talked about the last one. Let's see if he does get in there a little bit. The throw beats him, no doubt.
That's going to be tough to tell from that
sure
angle.
Is. But compliment Sonny Teixeira. So many guys, Lynn, panic and rush and launch it into the net. He didn't do that. He stayed real calm and cool.
I think Butch Thompson has seen about enough of this replay stuff today.
So.
This is the 5th one.
Well, I guess an umpire can't say no. I guess if the coach asks for it, they got to give it. So see if we get a better look here.
Well, and the umpires themselves can call for one at any point.
Man.
It is very, very close.
Tell you what, if I had a hat on, I would tip it to our camera guys because they've been on every angle we can get. It's just he's going so fast, it's just hard to see. But is there enough to overturn it?
Now the question is, was the left hand on the back angle of the plate before the tag was applied? Enrique Bradfield did an excellent job of sliding away from the would-be tag.
Out. I think it was just too close. I don't think it was enough to turn. The out was the call, right? So you got to have a lot to overturn it. Good play by Sonny Teixeira. Good hustle. Bradfield doing what he's supposed to do, going on contact with one out. Just a good play there by the first baseman for the Auburn Tigers. If there's been any question about Sonny Teixeira being able to do more than just hit, I think he's answered that in the eyes of professional scouts. And the way he can hit in this league, you have to draft him. You have to. That bat's going to play.
Check swing and a foul ball dribbles at the plate. The difference in this game, after trailing 1-0, going to the top of the 4th inning, a 9-run outburst for the Commodores, and they've added 1 and 2 in their 2 at-bats after that. 12-3 the score, and the 9-run 4th got it going for Vanderbilt. Runner on the move. Dials throw, not in time.
12-3. Might think, well, probably should shut it down a little. Nope, not in this game. Not in college baseball. Tim Corbin is still running his offense. And, boy, how about that speed from a 6'7" guy? Pretty quick to the plate.
He's 7 for 7 on the base paths.
Pretty quick to the plate. Good throw by Dial. And not even close for a guy that big.
He almost overslid the bag.
He did, like AstroTurf.
Dominic Keegan out of Massachusetts. 425 is his average right now. And he launches one deep to right field. That is up, and off the wall. Another double for Keegan. Another double for Vanderbilt. And for Dominic Keegan, that is his 3rd double of the game and his 3rd run driven in. He also has scored 3 times.
And Lynn, there's only 16 hits in the game. I think reading your, watch this here. We got a hanging breaking ball over the middle, and just a good job, strong guy, and just smoked it. Just about hit it out of here.
1, 2.
Is it 11?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 doubles and 2 home runs.
Holy cow, out of 16 hits. And no bunts. Who needs a bunt?
No, there has not been a cheap hit for Vanderbilt in this game. Here's Bulger. Oh, by the way, Bulger is 4 for 4. He singled in the 2nd, He singled and scored in the 4th. He also doubled in a run in the 4th, and he doubled in a run in the 6th.
Tim Hudson's going to go to Tommy Sheehan, I believe, a left-handed. It tells you maybe the command is not quite there yet from the Tommy John surgery.
That's 25 base runners in 14-plus innings.
It's a lot. Counting
hits and walks. But this is an opportunity for him to try to tighten it all up. And a breaking ball misses.
And Lynn, you're trying to find your feel in the SEC. He was in the rotation early. He pitched really well in January, did Tommy Sheehan. He was in the rotation. He struggled. He fell behind a little bit. Hayden Mullins got healthy, and he took the spot. But it's just hard to find that feel at this level of baseball. It's too difficult.
Sheehan hits the head pin with that one.
Classic lefty, 86 to 87, 88, mixes a good changeup. Will throw the breaking ball. Has a look of kind of a Tom Glavine, real smooth and poised. And then Mr. Vaz, who's had such a day and really keyed things off. If you weren't watching way back when, with a defensive gem and off Vanderbilt win on the offensive side of things.
He's also had a 3-run home run, has Vaz. Hit it up on top of the roof of the building beyond right field.
That's the new batting facility out there Auburn built a year ago, and pretty proud of it.
There's been a major improvement to this facility in every year over the last decade or so.
Yeah, the Operation Atmosphere is Coach Thompson's idea out there in right center field to kind of get a crowd, maybe a miniature version of left field lounge at Starkville. Nothing touches the old left field lounge. They've replaced that now, unfortunately, with condos. I know money talks, but that was such a great place.
You played there when there were hay wagons and double-decker buses with the top deck gone and used taxi cabs and sometimes the smoke would be so much from all the barbecuing out there that you couldn't take it. Vaz strikes out as Sheehan comes out of the bullpen and gets things done, and we will move forward with Vanderbilt leading 13-3. Vanderbilt exploded for 9 runs in the 4th inning after Auburn had taken a 1-0 lead into that frame. And the Commodores have continued to pour it on, leading 13-3. We play in the bottom of the 7th inning on a nice day in Auburn. Look at Teixeira and Rambush combined. This is serious power at the top of the order. The Rambush batting first, Teixeira batting third. 453, 378, all those home runs, high average, high on-base percentage. And Rambush at the plate right now, the junior out of Austin, Texas. Rambush 22 driven in, 8 stolen bases. Teixeira has added a walk to that number. And 2 out of those 3 at the top of the order. That'll get your attention in a hurry as an opposing team.
And Rambush is the quintessential leadoff guy, much like Enrique Bradfield for Vanderbilt. They get on base, they can run, they don't strike out, they can bunt. They're just perfect leadoff guys. We're seeing maybe 2 of the best in the country here with Bradfield and Rambush leading off of these 2 teams.
Well, I mentioned it earlier, but Rambush had 71 hits in 45 games last year for Grayson College.
I'd love to know the history. You know, was he a low recruit guy out of high school and got physical in the weight room, and all of a sudden here he is? I'd love to see where he's come from to get here, because I promise you, what he did at Grayson, he was highly recruited. I'm sure the Texas schools wanted him. Auburn went in there with Coach Nunemaker, recruiting coordinator, and got him, and a big pickup. 2 strikes, wide stance. See if he uses those hands again.
Rambush 1 for 3 today.
Pretty impressed with Bryce Cunningham for Vanderbilt. He's getting some great innings here in relief, and just, man, calm and cool, sitting around 92 with a good breaking ball.
Holton was lifted in the 5th. Rambush hits it to the shortstop, and it comes up for Carter Young nicely. He gets Rambush on a 6-3 put out.
Cunningham has come in. He's dominated the strike zone with 2 pitches. And this is a guy, we'll talk about Bryce Cunningham in the years to come as a Friday or a Saturday night starter for Vanderbilt on weekends, and it all starts with these kind of, he looks like he's about 12. Young guy, young face, but man, relax, making pitches. You get a good look there, the watch on his wrist.
One of the middle infielders will take this one. It'll be Young, the shortstop. He's a step away from the bag as he squeezes it, and quickly there are 2 outs.
Bradfield was playing around out there like he was going to catch it, decoying somebody. I don't know who, maybe me. But we talked about that, the watch, and that's what he's wearing is the pitcher Cunningham. So Vanderbilt had a game about 6 weeks ago against Oklahoma State, a series, Lynn. Not one sign called by the catcher, not one. So you put the sign in, the pitch call from the dugout. Everybody looks at the watch, and off we go with the pitch.
Here's Sonny DeShera. He has homered, flied to right, and walked.
There was some talk about stopping sign stealing. And I've always felt, look, if you can't hide your signs from a runner at second base, then you deserve to have them stolen. I just think, again, it's one more step to take the game out of the kids' hands, the players' hands, but they're trying to speed the game up, and we're not doing that. You and I are sitting on 3 hours here again, so it's not working.
It's amazing when you think about it what DeShera has done this year. This is an incredible story. He's hitting about 200 points against SEC pitching, better than he did against SoCon pitching.
Crazy, isn't it? LSU, A&M, Ole Miss, and now the Vanderbilt pitching staff.
Let's see if there's a play by the first baseman. There is, and a quick inning. Parker Nolan makes the play in foul ground. A 1-2-3 frame in the 7th, and we move on 13-3. Vanderbilt, in the middle game of the series, leads. It's been all Vanderbilt since the 4th inning, a 13-3 lead for the Commodores as we play in the 8th. And Tim Corbin's team rebounding from a loss last night. There are many who think that gentleman is, certainly he's among the cognoscenti of college baseball coaches, and there are many in the country who think he might be the best.
I'm stuck on cognoscenti. Let me get back to Tim Corbin. Remember now, you're dealing with an average guy here, so stick with me. But yes, Tim Corbin was at Clemson. I told you when I was at NC State, Len, you'd go to recruit, and the games would start at 8. Watch this pitch here by Sheehan. We got a pinch hitter, Rob Gordon from Atlanta.
And the catch made in foul ground by the right fielder, Rambush.
I kind of learned recruiting watching him. Lynn, he would get in the stands at 8 in the morning. I'm talking about 100 degrees in the summer recruiting. And the games would go till 8 at night. And I don't think he left. I think he would like bring his lunch somewhere. And
But how about this before Corbin? A 53% winning percentage, basically, and almost 70% under Corbin. That is a huge difference. 16 NCAA appearances in a couple of decades. 5 College World Series, 2 championships. In those 20 seasons, I mean, that's the face of a winner.
An extremely detailed guy. Leaves nothing unturned, turns it all out, and knows the game. He could probably be a pitching coach. He is a pitching coach. He teaches offense. You see the 2-strike approach today. He's an infielder by trade. He's asked to speak at a lot of coaches' conferences on infield. Very successful guy.
Snared at third. Farquhar leaping to his left. Took the laser and turned it into an out.
Absolutely smoked. Farquhar's played second, short, and third. Done a good job. And here, just not much reaction time. Just lay out and stab at it. Good play, good swing there by Carter Young. He's had a good day despite not having any hits. He's hit the ball hard and played great defense. These are big innings for Tommy Sheehan. I think Coach Thompson, he needs a starting pitcher to step up. They got 4 1/3 yesterday from Hayden Mullins, solid. Not much today from Bright. They need Tommy Sheehan. I think they brought him here anticipating he was going to be a weekend guy. And, boy, these are good innings for him, like it is for Bryce Cunningham for Vanderbilt, to kind of try to find that rhythm and get back in there.
Parker Noland has walked a couple of times, doubled and scored, and reached on a fielder's choice.
That's trouble.
Noland hits it high and deep, and that is off the left field wall. And Noland is on his way to second base. He is standing there with yet another double for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is approaching double figures in doubles in this game.
And they've used the green monster to perfection. It's only 315 feet down the line, and they have just used it and hit balls off of it for doubles all day long.
And they have officially reached double figures in 2 base hits. 10 doubles on the day for Vanderbilt.
Most doubles this season in the game, and this is SEC pitching on the road. This is not midweek against somebody coming down out of the cold weather. This is an SEC team on the road, and boy, I tell you, they've found their groove.
Enrique Bradfield at the plate, ball 1. Bradfield has doubled in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 5. He scored a run and driven in a run. Mark Fuller, Lynn Rollins with you, and we are absolutely delighted you have chosen to spend this afternoon turning into this evening with us. We'll be in the gloaming here soon. Been kind of a football weather day, which was appropriate because Auburn concluded its spring training with its football scrimmage today.
These A-Day games have known to be hot, but you know they enjoyed it, the kids with their pads and helmets on.
1 o'clock tomorrow, we will return for the conclusion of this series. That's 1 o'clock Central Time, right here on the SEC ESPN Network. We hope you'll join us. And Mark, I'm sure there are SEC fans from venues where games have been completed this afternoon that have their eyes on this one.
It's a fun time of year. You're watching really every sport. Softball, you're watching every day. We showed you the standings and how just everything's a jumble. Even the teams that are 3 and 7, I mean, everything is just, it's always that way. It seems like one team takes off. Usually it's Vanderbilt. This year it's Tennessee. Maybe it's Florida, even LSU. But one team takes off and the other 13 scrap and fight. Lynn, if you can get to 15 and 15, you're a regional host.
That would not happen in any league except the SEC.
Not a chance.
The catch is made by Howell.
Something going wrong, terribly wrong, but you're one of the top teams in the country.
That's hit sharply on the ground to the right side. And Vastine was in the right place. And Moore is quickly retired. He's 1 for 4 now on the day.
When I was coaching, I would always sit down with a schedule alone with nobody watching. And I would just go through it. All right, 4 and 4, let's see, 6 and 4, 7 and 8. I mean, you just try to pick where can we find 15 wins. And it never came out the way that I drew it out, but it was fun to do it and see where you could get.
Foster is first pitch swinging, and this is out of play on the left side. He had a base hit in the second. Since then, he's flied to right and grounded to short. It's been a pretty clean scorebook on the Auburn side since Bryce Cunningham came in relief.
Yeah, very impressed with him. He's pitching like a starter. And like I said before, these innings help him develop. That's the key word, man, in this league is you have to develop guys. And Vanderbilt does. Vanderbilt pumps out first-round picks. They don't come in as first-round picks. Some do. Some are high-profile guys out of high school and pass up the pro draft. But a lot of them come in as highly recruited guys, and they walk out of Vanderbilt first-round picks. It's all about developing guys. That's
let me see
right
if what I have matches with you. I don't think he's allowed a base runner.
He has not. In his 4th inning, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Carter
came on in the 5th.
Went 4 1/3. That's right. Didn't qualify for the win. So Cunningham will if he right now he's going to get the win because he pitched the 5th and trying to close it out. Pitch counts at 40. So I think Coach Corbin, unless he wants to get somebody else some work, nobody's throwing. They're all moving around a little bit down there, but I think he's a guy. It's his ballgame. So it kind of becomes a start for him. Potentially 5 innings and some really good work.
He's retired 10 in a row, except for that walk to Foster.
We jinxed him. His parents are going, golly, guys, come on.
I don't believe in jinxes.
I don't either. I'm with you. That was the exciting part for me as a recruiting and then pitching coach is seeing kids develop, seeing kids come in, finding them first. And back then we could still find them and keep them kind of hidden. You can't do that anymore.
Runner is not held, and he'll take second base
and Cole
without
Foster
any concern at all.
He should run. Man, this is not big league baseball. He should go. Vanderbilt's not holding, and they shouldn't hold. But it was fun to recruit guys, get them on campus, and then help them develop them, see them walk out the door, hopefully drafted.
Bobby Pierce takes a hack and can't find it. He has walked. He has popped up to the shortstop and grounded out to Carter Young at shortstop.
And when you recruit these kids, you just don't know. You sit behind a radar gun, you see them dominate high school baseball, but you don't know how they're going to react on the biggest stage in the country in the SEC. Some tossing now in the Vanderbilt bullpen.
SEC venues, the ballparks too, have just undergone over the last decade a tremendous renovation. They are fan-friendly. They are exciting. There's some pizzazz when you go to the ballpark. Each one has its own characteristics, its own flavor. But this is one of the best, in my opinion. The sightlines here are tremendous. Just a little over 4,000 seats, every one of them chair-backed. And the contour, anything but symmetrical in the outfield, which I love.
Yeah.
And there are characteristics of Fenway Park here. There are characteristics of Camden Yards here and others. Ground ball left side, sucked up by Diaz, except he can't make the play now. And so the inning continues.
Took a tough hot right when it got to him and kind of rolled up his arm a little bit and got through him. So little life here for Auburn late. You're right. I mean, it's not the imposing atmosphere of Baton Rouge. To me, Lynn, as a coach and a player, well, more of a coach, Fayetteville was number one. I mean, Fayetteville, when they start pig suey in 15,000 people and they do the seventh inning stretch, it is awesome. And Baton Rouge, obviously Starkville. But Auburn is not that, but it is the personality. You're exactly right. So many cool things about it.
Ryan Dial gets his second at bat in this game. The inning continues on the error by Diaz.
It was hard not to get caught up in Fayetteville as a coach. You want your player, you guys focus, and then you're sitting there kind of peeking out of the corner of your eye watching what's going on. And pretty cool thing. And Coach Van Horn, Coach Horn, he's got it going again this year and built such a great dynasty there.
You know, he's one of those guys, too, who came from a much smaller position to progress. He was at Northwestern State and Natchitoches, Louisiana in the Southland Conference. Went to Nebraska, had great success. And, he's been there a long time at Arkansas with wonderful success.
Yeah, sure has. Natchitoches, that's how you say it, huh?
Natchitoches.
Got it.
By the way, that's the oldest city in the Louisiana Purchase, and that ball just gets away from the catcher. Kind of a lazy effort. Didn't really come out of the crouch very quickly. I don't think he thought that he was going to have that one off the top of his glove.
And that will drive Tim Corbin nuts. He doesn't care that it's 13-4. He cares about the process of play well. You make an error at third. Now you get a little sloppy behind the plate there with Bulger. So that'll probably be mentioned by Coach Corbin when the game. Hey, good job, guys, but let's don't get sloppy late. Let's play and finish the game out.
That's going to be ruled a wild pitch. So Foster scores, and Pierce is at second base. And Dial is hoping to continue the inning. This Georgian popped up to the third baseman last time, and he draws a base on balls.
And I'm going to assume, I'm looking for the number so I can't find it, but I'm going to assume this is Cunningham's longest outing. The pitch counts at 52. It's not bad, but it is the fourth inning. He came in the fifth, so it is into his fourth inning. So probably one of his longer outings, and a good time out here by Bulger to see if he can get him to settle down. Let's get one more out.
I'm going to see if I can find that number for you.
I would assume this would be maybe his last hitter, definitely his last inning. Let's see a lefty in the Vanderbilt bullpen tossing. So I would think if he could battle through this and get this last out, it's been a really good day, really good outing for him. And he gets a win. He gets an SEC win on the road. Garrett Farquhar now with 2 outs. Auburn's got guys at first and second.
A check swing and a strike.
Talked a little bit about Coach Thompson's leadership team. There's 4 guys, Lynn. There's Kason Howell. There's Brody Moore. The 3 guys you might pick, Carson Skipper, and this guy, Garrett Farquhar. Didn't come into the season as a guy, just kind of a backup. But his classroom, his leadership in the weight room, the way he carries himself on the field, Coach Thompson, that's why he's one of my leaders. It's not always about, man, you're hitting 380, you're a leader. You know, that doesn't make somebody a leader. It's so many things off the field for you young guys out there listening that you have to do well.
Ground ball to the shortstop. The throw will be made to first base, and it is in time. And you're right, this is Cunningham's by far longest outing of the season. As you see, it's been all Vanderbilt since the 4th inning. A 9-run explosion in the 4th put a lot of separation between the visiting team and the Auburn Tigers. There were 8 hits, a couple of homers, and 4 doubles in that 4th inning alone. Since then, Vanderbilt has stretched its doubles total to 10 in the game and leads comfortably 13-4. We've got a new center fielder, Bryson Ware. He is patrolling center field now for Auburn. There he is, as he replaces Howell in center.
Played right field, played left field, now playing center.
A liner to right field off the bat of Davis Diaz.
I think that's the first single in 6 innings, Lynn. What's going on here?
That's going to cost him in Kangaroo Court.
I'm telling you, it sure will.
That's his first hit of the day, by the way.
Calvin Hewitt, New Hampshire boy, going to pitch hit here. One of those northern guys that Coach Corbin has gone up there and gotten out of his area.
So Hewitt is a sophomore.
Greenland, New Hampshire, just sounds cold.
Greenland, New Hampshire, it sure does. And isolated. So he's batting for Jones. What a day he had. He walked, he homered, he doubled in a couple of runs, and he singled, and he stole a base.
All 3 positions he hit. Left field, center field, right field with his 3 of his 4 hits.
Tommy Sheehan working here in the late innings. A win today by Vanderbilt would put the Commodores at 5-6 in the league and 22-8 overall. If Auburn does not rally, the Tigers will fall to 6-5 in the league and 21-10 for the season. But still in a favorable position in the Western Division.
And Lynn, Vanderbilt, it's not about catching Tennessee. It's just about getting to 15 wins or 16 wins. I think this team, I think what we saw today will trampoline this team back on track, and they'll get going. They're done with Tennessee. They still got some tough games. Probably have Arkansas down the road. You know, it's not by no means does it get easier, but you're through the worst of it with Tennessee. That's another thing. LSU can really hit. They've got the #1 player in the country projected. They can swing the bat. I just don't think they've hit their stride and found their groove. But last point, I think they will in the West.
So in other words, hang on. The next 6 weeks are going to be really fun to watch.
I mean, in what sport in this conference do you not have to hang on? I mean, it's just That's why it's so much fun. Drebeck, interesting as he throws. I'm thinking that he has the extra. I think he's a sixth-year senior. So because of COVID, probably a redshirt year, he's a sixth-year transfer. There's no leg lift. He comes set like a knuckleballer and just kind of falls to the plate. Off he goes. All fastballs so far. The slider's very good. But try to steal on this. Now, Vanderbilt's not going to steal. They're up by a bunch, and it wouldn't be a double steal with 2 outs. Or no out, I'm sorry. But this is a sub 1 second to the plate for Tyler Drebeck. It just shuts the running game down.
That's a little off the mark. Leneve, the pinch hitter out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's a junior. He's got an RBI opportunity. Runners at second and first. What a difference 24-hour makes in terms of Vanderbilt's offensive prowess. This ball is hit a long way. Way back. A 3-run home run for Troy Leneve coming off the bench, and that ball was belted over the dugout, over the bullpen, and is rolling up the hill, and the onslaught continues for Vanderbilt tonight. Wow.
Well, and that's the depth. And this is a guy who has not hit in this series. He comes up, seeing 5 pitches, gets a fastball down and in, and just absolutely smokes it over the right center field wall. That's the depth of the Vanderbilt offense. I mean, not many at bats for him, and to hit a ball, that ball's 400 feet, 361 plus another 50 or 60. So another ball just absolutely blasted out of this ballpark by the Vanderbilt offense. And it's interesting. I talked about Drebeck throwing sliders. He didn't throw any and gave up a home run. He throws, that's what he's built on, and kind of went against the grain, and it got him.
Here's Bulger. He's 4 for 4.
Pretty good day.
And also was intentionally walked.
I was going to ask you, Lynn, before Leneve did that, when's the last time you called a game with 2 guys from Pittsburgh, but not Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the same team, Pittsburgh, California, and I'd never heard of that before.
Ground ball up the middle. That finds center field.
How about 5 for 5?
What a day for Jack Bulger. There are a lot of nominees for Offensive Player of the Week here in the SEC on this field alone in that Vanderbilt uniform.
I don't know where to start. Maybe it's the whole offense. The SEC, they're going to have to carry it into tomorrow.
Here's Vaz, who has a 3-run home run. That came in the 4th inning. And he lofts one to right. That'll find grass. Vaz's second hit.
It's a hitting parade.
Yes, it is.
They are lined up like Christmas Day. It's a hitting parade. The good thing for Auburn, as they get through today and try to win the series tomorrow, is they will run Joseph Gonzalez out there, who today it's been a series of just barrels, doubles, and home runs and hard hit balls. He sinks it. Which is kind of my point talking to you about the length of games, and all, he sinks it. He has a chance to get ground ball after ground ball. So Auburn should feel pretty good if they can't have some huge comeback here to run him out there tomorrow afternoon and see what they can do.
That was the 21st hit of the game for Vanderbilt. And here's Rob Gordon. Rob Gordon is a freshman from Atlanta. Steve, right.
That's the strength of what Tim Corbin does. We talked about last thing, he develops. You'll see Rob Gordon in some role next year. We saw Bryce Cunningham on the mound today. He'll be a starter down the road, assuming he stays healthy and all those things figured in. But that's what Tim Corbin is so good about doing. And he gets recruits because of that, man. Hey, you walk into somebody's house, hey, I'm Tim Corbin. Hey, by the way, this guy have been drafted in the 2nd, 1st, 3rd round, gone on the big leagues. That's what we do at Vanderbilt. And boy, that rings. That just rings to a family's ears. Not only is it a Vanderbilt education, but it's a chance to come and be developed and have a chance to move on and fulfill a dream of Major League Baseball. Tim Corbin does it as well as anybody in the country. Dave Van Horn, same thing at Arkansas. Get them in, develop them, send them out.
I don't think there are a lot of SEC programs that don't do that.
I agree. It's a national championships, though, that I think Arkansas and Vanderbilt really can sell. They can sell. We go to super regionals. Not everybody can say that in the conference. So it's really that part of it.
Well, Florida can claim that. LSU can claim that.
Right.
Georgia can claim that.
Yeah, you're right.
Mississippi State can now claim that.
Sure can.
Carter Young, first pitch swinging, lifts it out of play in foul ground. Carter Young is the only starter without a base hit today. 21 hits, 16 runs, 10 doubles, 3 homers. That's not a series total. That's today's total.
It's really 5 innings. Started in the 4th. That'll keep you awake at night if you're a pitching coach.
This is one you just have to flush if you're Auburn.
You do, because you can win the series tomorrow. Hey, it is what it is. Life in the SEC. You get your tail beat. You and I talked on the phone the other day, my second year. We came to Baton Rouge on Skip Bertman weekend. He's going to retire. And we have to win 2 in Baton Rouge. We get beat 21-8 on Friday night. And it was like, oh, boy. And we came back and won the next 2. I mean, you had to flush it and go. It was fun. I'll never forget, Lynn, I've never seen a llama in my life. And at home plate on Saturday with Coach Bertman, such a legend, they gave him a llama. I don't know what he did with it. I don't know if it's still alive. That's been 18 years. I don't know how long llamas live. But that was a gift from somebody to Coach Bertman, a llama.
Not something you see every day, a llama presented at home plate.
I don't know.
And the first name was not Dolly.
I got distracted. The point was we got embarrassed on Friday night, and we had to get over it, get back to work. Auburn will have to get over it tonight and get back to work tomorrow.
Well, even though this game has been a mismatch in Vanderbilt's favor since the 4th inning, it either counts as 1 loss or 1 win.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely.
One ball, 2 strikes on Carter Young. And he waves at a pretty good pitch.
Lots of life. 2-seam fastball running away from Tyler Drabick, and a good action sinking ball away from him. The one thing you just try not to do in this league is get swept. Vanderbilt got swept last week. They have the ability to win 3 easily, but if you can just avoid that on the road, find a way to win 1 game. And you'll see coaches do things to win 1 game, like use a starter in relief just to win the game, to make sure we leave this place with at least 1 win. If you can do that, then your postseason hopes stay alive.
Noland has walked twice. He has doubled twice. He has scored twice. And he's been retired on a fielder's choice. He swings and misses. Drabick's got a little giddy up.
He does, with some sink. And I was a Coach Barry, believed in sink. And, in the 80s, Lynn, if you threw right-handed over the top, your arm slot got dropped down. Tim Hudson got dropped down here at Auburn, and it led to sink in a 17-year Major League career.
Tim Hudson was one of the most remarkable players I have ever witnessed. Will that be fair or foul?
3
It is
runs.
fair, and it is a home run. How about that? Parker Noland adds to the hit parade. 2 doubles and a home run now for him. And the Auburn Tigers just have run into a full-speed buzzsaw offensively for Vanderbilt today.
Well, what a good swing, too, again with 2 strikes. Watch this now, just a little up and away.
Right here, he knows it has a chance.
It was a breaking ball. And to hit a breaking ball opposite field, probably 340 feet, pretty impressive, pretty strong. Good swing.
So that's what, 4 home runs?
4 home runs.
And 10 doubles. Bradfield at the top of the order has 2 doubles. 19-4. Since mid-game, this Vanderbilt team has been remarkable. 9 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. And a whole lot more here in this inning. Look at this item for Vanderbilt. 22 hits today. That's the most by a team in the conference against conference competition this year.
Absolutely. And they have the ability to do it multiple times. They can flat out swing it 1-9.
So the hit total today, the most by any SEC team against SEC competition this year. And add to the total.
It's his 7th at-bat of the day. Enrique Bradfield.
With 3 base hits.
Back up the middle.
You could hang laundry on that one, and there have been no cheap hits today for Vanderbilt.
You and I can feel the vibration of the barrel up here. I mean, it's been sweet spot city all day long.
Here's Davis Diaz, one of those players from Pittsburgh, but not Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, California.
I didn't know there was such of a place. I thought I'd heard of most cities in the country, but not Pittsburgh, California.
And it's Pittsburgh without an H at the end.
Is that right? All right.
Pittsburgh.
Is there a Pittsburgh, Louisiana, by chance?
Not that I know of.
Dang. Well, you would know.
Diaz 1 for 5. He's flirting with 300 now. Came in, though, just a little over 300 at 302. And his batting average has slipped a few points with only 1 base hit. That came in his last at bat. He's also been hit by a pitch, lined out, struck out, flied to center, and grounded to short.
And Lynn, Vanderbilt is running freshman after freshman out on the field tonight. Hitters, pitchers in Cunningham. They can do it. They very few, if any, really junior college transfers. Probably a couple. I think there are a couple of transfer portal guys over there, but they're going to build it on freshmen because they can. Whoever they want from whichever state they go to recruit.
Auburn won last night 5-1. It's been all Vanderbilt since the mid-innings here today. And we started this game under blue skies. We play now under dark skies. If you've never been here, this ballpark is really accessible, very close to the football stadium. Basketball facilities are just across the road. If you were seated behind home plate, it would be to your right. And a wonderful setting for college baseball. I think one of the things that Auburn has done well in its athletic complex is there are very large parking lots that serve baseball, they serve basketball, and they serve football.
Yeah, very well designed. Parking decks, garages, no doubt. The old Coliseum still sits here. There's been a lot of talk about tearing it down, but it's just kind of a landmark. I don't know what will happen there, but we see Vanderbilt offensively up 19-4 and still having great 2-strike at bats here with Davis battling.
That's a call, 3rd strike in the upper part of the zone, and the inning is over. 19-4. Vanderbilt leads and well on its way to evening this series. (19-4). Vanderbilt on top of Auburn as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and Brett Hansen will work the 9th for the Commodores. This left-hander out of California, a big guy, 6'4", 205 pounds. Carter Holton started. There was some nice relief work by Bryce Cunningham. Brett Hansen this year making his 5th appearance. No record. He is not allowed to run. 3 2/3 innings, just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So not much action, but good numbers.
Yeah, and this is more, we talked about Carter Holton being the perfect left-handed pitcher because of his size, not a real big guy. This is the draft body here, so I don't know his story. Did Brett Hansen pass up money? Did he tell the scouts not to draft him? But this is the draft body left-handed that you lose a lot of times in college baseball. But, Lynn, Vanderbilt doesn't lose them. They don't lose guys. A few years back, Kamar Rocker was the #1 player in the country out of his class, and he went to Vanderbilt. Had the misfortune last year with the draft and the arm issues. He's recovering now, I'm sure, but Vanderbilt doesn't lose these guys. They get them in.
Rambush rips one into left field. That's his second base hit of the day. Blake Rambush at the top of the order is a prototypical leadoff hitter. He hits with some power. He hits frequently. He can run, and he's very patient. And he's 2 for 5 today.
He sure is. You might ask, what's the difference in Vanderbilt and other schools? And there's a lot of schools that keep draft picks. And now the draft is less teams. So I think more kids will go to college. But number one, I think it's the education. It's the Vanderbilt education that you get, but it's also the national championship potential like LSU. It's the chance to get drafted high when you leave. And I'd say this, you and I were talking before the game, Lynn, about my opportunity to miss college. Had I missed Auburn University, having been drafted out of high school, it would have been a disaster. I just was very immature. I needed to come to college and grow up, and I think most kids are in that boat. And when you got a chance to come play in this league, you just – young guys out there don't know what A-ball is like, rookie ball is like. I mean, to pass up this league, which is why Vanderbilt keeps so many high-profile guys. I think they've got 8 of the top 30 in the country signed for next year coming in. You talked about the stadiums. When you get to go to Tuscaloosa and play in a $45 million stadium, you get to go to Baton Rouge and play in front of 12,000 fired-up Cajun baseball fans. It's just –
There will be no play on this. College baseball is so affordable, too.
It really is.
You don't have to take a loan to get a ticket.
No, you do not.
Players are accessible.
And it's going to get better. There's only 20 rounds in the draft. There was 100 rounds the year I was drafted. So many decisions now by the scouts. There's a bunch of them were here tonight to watch. Are going to cause kids to not be drafted and have to go to college.
A swing and a miss, and that takes care of business.
Really good changeup there by Brett Hansen. He took a little off with 2 strikes. Watch this thing just kind of flutter and sit there. And Bryson Ware way out front. A really, really good straight changeup.
You know, you talk about the reduced draft, too, and correspondingly, there are many fewer opportunities in minor league baseball.
No question. They've gotten rid of low A ball, rookie ball. The short season rookie ball is gone. Now it's complex ball. And it's a big world now.
So the census of minor league players is much, much smaller than it was just a few years ago.
Probably 30%. Yeah, absolutely. And then figure in the international community. I mean, there's talk now.
Bechara grounds it to the right side, and a double play will end the game. So a very nice job offensively.